Woo! Good evening, people. Happy Sunday. Scott McGinnis, what's up, my man? It's good to see you, buddy. Oh man, it's good to see you guys. Um, I'm not gonna make you guys wait. I'm gonna go ahead and bring on my special guest. Uh, you guys all know her and love her, the one and only attorney Melanie Little. What's up?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
Happy Sunday fun day.
Yeah,
It's a
right?
Sunday fun day. It's Mel and Will After Dark. It's a Sunday night special.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. This is again, this is one of those deals where I don't know what the hell we're gonna do. We're just gonna kind of wing it, see what happens.
You never know what could happen. Somebody was in my
You
chat
never know.
yesterday, called us the Benson and Stabler of YouTube, and I said, I'll allow it.
Hell yeah.
I'll
take
allow
that shit. Hell yeah.
it.
Hell yeah. Look at Benson and Stabler of YouTube.
I'll
It doesn't
allow it.
get any cooler than that.
My necklace is a Dave Matthews Fire Dancer. I don't know if somebody asked. I don't know if you could see it.
No, I cannot. Kind
Somebody in the chat asked, so I was just showing it to her.
of. Okay. Okay.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I'll allow it. Oh, there it is. Oop, there it is.
So yeah, since the last time that we talked,
Auntie Deb is here.
Auntie Deb is
Auntie
here.
Deb
Yes.
is here.
You gotta love
Auntie Deb.
Deb.
Auntie
Yeah,
Deb, I
you
love you. I love you.
gotta love Auntie Deb. Yeah. You got Scott McGinnis in here. You got Dana.
Yes.
You got yeah.
One of Suze's horses won at the whatever race that was. I think it was today. 14-1, I think.
14-1 what? Who won?
One of Glamma Suze's horses. She has horses.
Okay.
Ran in whatever the race was today. I don't. It's not the Belmont. I know that it was the Breeders' Cup. And Glamma Suze has a horse named Straight No Chaser.
Wow,
I love it. $14.20 on a $2 bet. So congratulations to Straight No Chaser, owned by your friend and ours in the chat, Glamma Suze. That's huge. Huge.
See, that's one of those situations where I kick myself for not being a gambler because I would have totally bet on that horse just because of the name.
I know.
I would have absolutely bet on that horse.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So what's happened since? I mean, a lot's happened since the last time you and I did a live stream together.
I don't even remember. I don't know when that was, but yeah, I mean, there's been Vanity Fair that came out. There's been a stay in the civil case only with regard to Karen. So that's very good news for her civil lawsuit. Not such great news for the plaintiffs in that case, the O'Keefes. We're going to hear the appeal argued
and
coming
not
up
so
this
good
week.
for the Commonwealth either.
No, not so good for the Commonwealth.
No. Yeah. So, and then there was it was uneventful though. There was the hearing for a bunch of people who were charged in Duckygate.
I didn't even hear what happened. You can tell me what happened.
It was just a hearing that I think they were just setting other dates. I don't remember exactly what happened, but Bradel addressed the supporters outside afterwards and said that he liked the judge. The judge seemed fair and that the judge seemed to be looking at every individual case, through as an individual case, each one, without lumping them all together in one crazy.
So Bradel is representing those folks as well, those defendants.
It seems like it, yeah. Unless he's just representing Richie, and Richie was there. Richie Schiffer, or Rich Schiffer, as he likes to be called.
Oh. Well, I think that Canton's going to keep Bradle busy for the next whoever knows how many years, right?
I mean, yeah. This is, I mean, it's one thing after the other. It's really bizarre. Um, you and I were recently brought up by a friend of ours on Twitter.
It's a loose term, but yeah.
Hold on,
And
let me
well,
see if I can.
it was nice to be in your company, mentioned in your company on
Always, yeah,
Twithole. Yeah.
yeah. Whenever I see stuff like that, I'm like, "Aw," you know.
Oh, isn't that so cute?
It is, yeah. So let's take a look at real quick. So here, so apparently Nancy Grace posted something,
Yeah.
um, and and
I can see.
so right now Jennifer Coffendoffer, she posts. Yeah, Nancy Grace
Badge
blocked
of
me. And
honor.
I went to go look to see what, and I'm sure through past cases I've called her out on being the tragedy pimp of tragedy pimps. Like,
Mm.
I find it really ironic that she called out these YouTubers supposedly. Because if I had to guess, I'd say she was calling out Andrea Burkhart.
No,
Um,
I think she was
no,
see, here's the backstory on this. So this Delphi case, which I've also been covering, is like Karen Reed on steroids. I mean, you want to talk about some effed up shit. This Judge Gull makes Auntie Bev look like Mother Teresa. Like, it
mm,
whack what's going on there in the
yeah, I haven't been
investigation.
following.
This guy's been held in a prison in solitary for 13 months. He's not even convicted. Injected with
What?
Haldol. They're torturing him in prison. It's insane what's going on. Yeah, it can't. Like, how many days do you have for me to even tell you the story? So Nancy Grace shows up to the trial in Delphi, Indiana, which is, people are camping out overnight to get into the courtroom. There's only 24 seats for the public, and there's some law tubers there, like Bob Mata and Allie was there one day, and Andrea Burkhart is there. They have line sitters. Lawyer Lee is there. Lauren from Hidden True Crime is there, and it is like fierce to try and get a seat because they're not considered media; they're considered public, right?
Right.
Nancy Grace shows up there, somehow gets a seat, and shows up for literally like 1 hour or
Okay.
an hour and a half of the testimony on a day where they're now introducing all these confessions that Richard Allen allegedly made in prison after he's been in solitary for 6 months, in the hole for 6 months, lights on all night, guarded by prison guards with Odinist patches on. Like, you can't even make this up. If you tried to write this movie script, people would be like, yeah, no, we can't make this movie. It's ridiculous. Nobody's going to believe it. So she shows up for like 90 minutes. Here's a little bit of the testimony. Doesn't even get the whole scoop on, his psychosis and everything else that's going on with him. And the reason he may have made these false confessions because they were tortured out of him because they're torturing, like they're threatening his wife and stuff. She
Oh my
comes out
God.
in front of the courthouse and makes this like this ridiculous news piece about it, which completely mischaracterizes everything that went on because she only stayed for an hour. But then she comes out and says she starts calling out these YouTubers for going after the victims' families. It's two young girls that were killed in Delphi, Indiana in 2017, 13
Abby
and
and
14
Libby,
years
right?
old. Yeah.
I
They don't
I'm aware
arrest
of
him
like
until
the
almost
crux
6
of the
years
case,
later.
but
She starts calling out YouTubers for going after the families. There was one girl, I don't know who it is. It's a channel that I'm not really familiar with, but she did a show on, maybe it was maybe the sister was somehow involved, I think. So I think that's what Nancy Grace was calling out. I'm not sure. But then when Koffendorfer reposted that, naming you and me and Sean, because
right.
saying that we're the ones who go after victims' families. I'm like, have you ever watched my show once?
Yeah, it's bizarre. So she's I mean, the thing is the irony is I've spent the majority of my time on YouTube calling out people who exploit victims,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Which
right.
if Coffindoffer knew anything about me, she'd know that.
Mm-hmm. Like the
So
lady with the bullhorn
right,
and others et
right.
al. Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's just really bizarre. I mean, that she would take like this is something's on. Obviously, something's on Jennifer Coffindoffer's mind here.
Right.
because that had nothing to do with us. She wasn't even talking about us. She wouldn't even. I mean, I don't talk about that case.
No, she's saying Nancy Grace's post was, I can't stand YouTubers that go after victims' families. And then
Right.
Coffindoffer posts, exactly. There are several of them.
Like, is she trying to sick Nancy Grace on us or something? Like, is
No,
that?
I think that she's just trying to keep
I
herself relevant. And, I don't know how many posts she's required to make a day about Karen Reed, but she makes at least 3 or 4 or
I
5
mean,
of them.
I'd love a a 60-second conversation with Nancy Grace. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. She is like when the Idaho thing happened, she set up camp, like she set up a desk
Yeah.
in front of the house.
In front of the
Like
house?
in front of the house.
In front of
And
the kid's house?
yes, dude,
1122
for
King Road?
for a photo op. Right.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Like she is the worst of all tragedy pimps. So it's just really funny to me. Like, this is what she does. What's really ironic about her talking about, I can't believe they would call out these victims' family. This is what she does. Whenever there's a missing person, she's accusing the family, but before there's even any, she's a major part of spinning those narratives when there's people pointing fingers at family members who there's no evidence against. She
Wow.
did this with the Wells family. She did this with the Sebastian Rogers case. So I don't know why she thinks that she's sitting on a high horse calling out people who say negative things about victims' families, because this is the one time where the things that I know that I've said about the O'Keefes have been merited, and I've held back. I mean, the fact of the matter is the O'Keefes are suing Karen Reed, the Waterfall Bar and Grill, and CF McCarthy's when they don't have a case. I mean, they just simply don't. And we know the real reason why she's suing Karen Reed, because they want to get the Commonwealth put them up to this so that they could get a deposition and use it against her in her criminal case. Clearly, I mean, it's obvious
I have a different
they don't
take
have a
on it.
case. Okay, what's your take?
Money,
I mean, see, that's what
revenge.
a lot of people say that. I think that's too simple. I think that's too easy.
Occam's razor,
And
baby.
I
Occam's
mean,
razor.
I'm usually the first person to uh to say Occam's razor, to put Occam's razor out there and to advocate. Usually
Right.
the simplest answer is the correct one. I'm usually that guy, but in this case, I feel like the simplest answer is actually the strategy for the Commonwealth, because like I said, well, what money? She doesn't have any money anymore. There's
Well,
no
it's
more money.
insurance. It's insurance proceeds. She's got an insurance policy for her car. So let's say maybe she's got $1 million policy on her car and an umbrella. Who knows? I mean, she was very successful. Everybody who's successful and has assets has an umbrella. She could have a couple million in
But
coverage.
but
But here's the thing.
you're not gonna be able to exclude the ARCA expert's testimony from the criminal trial in the civil case. So that's gonna be her case right there. Like I had these two guys, and you can't hide that she's not gonna have to hide that they were FBI, that they were hired by the FBI. So that right there is her case, to just go in there and be like, look, we couldn't bring this up in the criminal trial. For some reason, the judge blocked the information that they were hired by the FBI because there was a independent criminal trial. And these men who were hired independently by the FBI these experts determined that he was not even hit by a car. So I don't see how the O'Keefes realistically think that they can win this lawsuit. I truly believe that the entire purpose of it is it was motivated and set up by the Commonwealth. They were pushed by the Commonwealth to do it. And I'm saying that based on the O'Keefe family, or at least Paul O'Keefe, being so vocal about the case all of the sudden after the trial, after the mistrial, and then does this interview with Christina Rex from Boston 10, and she's just or Paul O'Keefe is trying to rally up troops and uh, get public support on his side. there's just so much that tells me that this is more about the Commonwealth using the O'Keefes to try to gain traction for this next trial.
Except
That's what
anybody, every civil lawyer, every civil litigator out there, of which I have been for over 30 years, will tell you that this case was absolutely going to get stayed. There was no way that they were going to get a deposition of Karen before the criminal trial was going to happen. They just weren't going to do it. So
sure.
whoever this plaintiff's lawyer is, the statute of limitations wouldn't have expired on the civil case until January like 28th of 2025. He could have waited. This was stupid because here's what's going to happen, in my opinion. This is exactly what I would do if this was my case and I was her attorney, as a
That's
defense
another
attorney.
reason. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, but that's
No,
another reason. That's another reason why I think that this was about the criminal trial and not getting money so much as much
yeah, but
because of the timing, because of the rush to do it. You
well,
know,
plaintiff's lawyers don't get paid unless they recover. So you work for years for free until if and when there's a settlement or a verdict, and that's how you get paid. Typically, you get paid 1/3 of the settlement, or if it goes to trial, some states allow you to get a fourth or even half. But you don't pay your plaintiff's lawyer by the hour. So no lawyer is going to take this like it's you're working for free until if or when you settle the case. So
yeah, that
it's
makes
so the
sense because
plaintiff's attorney has no there's no like
there's no incentive, right?
motivation for him to file this case now. It was dumb. It was stupid.
Right,
Because
and
what's going to happen now is that Karen is going to third party in all the defendants that she thinks are actually responsible for John's death. That means brought in as third party defendants will be Brian Higgins, Brian Albert, Colin Albert, Jennifer McCabe, and all of those people are going to have to give depositions. And now, not only are they going to have to give
right,
depositions, they're going to be defendants in this case. And they're not
right.
going to have insurance company lawyers. And guess what? If a jury finds that they're liable for John O'Keefe's death and awards the O'Keefes millions of dollars against them, how are they going to pay it? Karen has insurance for this. They don't.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it just seems like it just because I all of that makes perfect sense in theory, but these are questions that I brought up when I first went over when they first filed the lawsuit against Karen and the Waterfall and CF McCarthy's.
Mm-hmm.
Um, these are things that I explored, and I thought I was like, okay, well, what kind of lawyer would do this? And then I googled the law firm. I can't remember it now. I don't have it at the top of my head right now, but
Oh, I don't remember
they're
either.
they're, they're fucking ambulance chasers.
Well,
They're
that's
like,
what plaintiffs attorneys do. I'm one too. Don't
you
knock
know
it.
what I mean?
Everyone
Well,
hates us until you need us.
well, no, fair enough. But what I'm saying is they're not.
Just kidding.
These are
Nobody
not.
hates lawyers.
It doesn't. It just. It it doesn't seem like they're. You know, I'm wondering what kind of lawyer would even take on this case. Would you? I mean, would you have taken on this case as a if somebody came to you and said, "I want to sue"? Would you have taken on this case?
Here's the
And
problem. Here's the problem with this case. The problem with this case is there's never been a motor vehicle accident report filed, right? Like you ever been in a car accident? There's a police report of the
yeah,
car accident.
every time the insurance won't pay out unless there's a
Of
police
course.
report.
And there's people in the chat, and I know they're here because they're in my chat too, who are bodily injury claims adjusters for companies like Liberty Mutual and State Farm and Allstate. And people are like, I would never pay on this claim. Never. But you know what it's going to get? A lot of press. It's going to get a lot of press for these attorneys.
Right.
And it's a problem because now Waterfall, CF McCarthy's, and Karen are all on the same team. They're all united. Their interests are united in the civil case. They're all in the same team. They're all going to attack them together. They're going to get depositions and discovery. Like it's not like in criminal court where you got to make all these Rule 17 motions. Please, Auntie Bev, let us get this. Please let us get cell phone records of this person, that person, and the other person, and then beg and beg and beg until you're just told no, and smack and get away. This is civil court where everything is game on at a deposition. There are no questions that are objectionable at a deposition. You can ask whatever you want, and the attorney can object and preserve their objection for the time of trial, but you can ask anything you want. Like you can ask
Right.
Mrs. O'Keefe. Okay, Mrs.
That
O'Keefe. So
that's my
when's the
point.
first time after they found your son's body did you have a conversation with Jennifer McCabe? and she's going to have to answer that. And what did you say to her? And what did she say to you? And she's going to have to answer that. Did you have a conversation with Jennifer McCabe before you got back to One Meadows? Did you have a conversation? How many conversations did you have with Jennifer McCabe before Karen Reed got to One Meadows? Did Jennifer McCabe tell you that Karen Reed hit Sean with her car? What else did Jennifer McCabe tell you? And on and on and on and on. And it could go on for days. So, it falls into the category of you better want what you wish for when you're the plaintiff, because all of those people who they think are now their friends are all going to be brought into this as defendants. And they're not going to be happy about it. Where's
Yeah,
Chloe? They're going to be able to find out where Chloe is. They could do a deposition of the person who got Chloe. They could do depositions of anybody they want.
well, that's what I mean. Is that since this was filed, the first thing that came to my mind, the questions that I started to ask myself was, well, is this actually good for the O'Keefes, or is it even better for Karen Reed in the grand scheme of things? And all signs point to it being better for Karen Reed in the grand scheme of things.
The magic 8 ball, all signs point to yes.
Right.
Yeah, because now what the judge has decided, because Karen's defense team moved for a stay, so which essentially freezes the civil action until after the criminal trial is over. Not only did the judge say, we're going to give you a 6-month stay, but only with regard to Karen Reed. So Karen Reed can't be deposed prior to the criminal trial ending, but all the other people can.
Right.
It's like, I mean, you couldn't have had a more fair judge. Like, win-win, ding, ding, ding.
Right. I just don't see what, like, and also another reason why I think that this is Commonwealth driven is because this sounds like another harebrained tactic by the Commonwealth anyway. It just fits right into their MO. You know what I mean? Like they have the intent, they make a move, they have the intention of it resulting one way, and then it backfires and has the Streisand effect.
Right.
And this happens every time. It's got, like, this is just what Morrissey seems to consistently do.
I mean, that's assuming that Marcy's got any control over this plaintiff's lawyer, who I don't know who he is, but look, plaintiff's lawyers aren't in it to, they're in it to win it, because you don't win unless until you get paid.
But I think he's working closely with the O'Keefes.
I mean, he could be. I have no idea whether that's true or not, but
I don't either. But I mean,
apparently they don't know the law. If they ever thought they were going to get
all I'm saying is it's fair to assume it, or at least entertain the likelihood of it.
I think nothing is surprising at this point, right?
Right. Yeah.
Except, look, Marcy doesn't try cases. I don't think he's ever tried a case from what I hear. So he's not a trial lawyer. So he doesn't know that this was never going to be allowed. Karen Reed has a constitutional right to plead the fifth. And they cannot force her to testify in another case when she has a criminal case pending. It's basic civil litigation 101. Just because she's talking to reporters, she's allowed to do that. She has that choice. She has the choice to talk to whoever she wants. She can invite this Julie Miller from Vanity Fair to live with her for 3 days.
That's what freedom of speech means. That people don't understand. It's like, I see that all the time. It's like, the O'Keefes even said it. They even released a statement saying it. Oh, well, I don't understand. If she's gonna go around and talk to all these reporters and whatnot, then why can't we make her talk at a deposition?
I mean, they even made that argument
again. That statement argues that was the purpose of their lawsuit. The fact that they're mad about that makes it seem like that was the purpose of their lawsuit, and the fact of them pointing that out, saying, "Oh, why can't if she could say." They're going to let her say whatever she wants to any reporter and whatever, but we can't make her testify in court. That's the kind of system we live in. Yeah, it's called freedom of speech.
It's called
freedom
the
Constitution. Of speech. Exactly. The freedom of speech does not dictate when you can shut up. It also dictates when you can talk. You can say whatever you want to whoever you want. That's what freedom of speech is. Not just I could shut up and plead the fifth and not say anything to incriminate myself. That's like one aspect of freedom of speech. The rest of it means I could say or not say whatever the fuck I want, wherever I want, to whoever I want.
But you
Period.
can't be compelled to testify. That's the
Right.
difference.
Right.
She has the freedom and
Because
the
that
choice to
takes your
speak to whoever
freedom
she wants
away.
to, and that does not negate the fact that she can't be compelled to testify in a civil case
Compelling
when
her
she
to
has a criminal.
testify takes away her right to freedom of speech.
Yeah.
It takes away that right. That's what being compel means. It means she no longer has the say. Somebody else has the say over what she says and when she says it and under what circumstances she says it.
And
so that's not freedom of speech.
they showed a little tiny part of the hearing on, like, you know, the news channels, because they must have had cameras in there, but they didn't broadcast the whole hearing. And like her plaintiff's lawyer actually got up and started arguing that. And I was kind of like, I had like secondhand embarrassment for him, because I was like, come on, dude, like, you're on TV and you're going to sit here and argue that, you know, how dare she go out there and proclaim her innocence to every newspaper out there and poison the jury pool, and she not be compelled to give a deposition. It's like, okay, it was so basic that it was kind of embarrassing. And I think even the judge kind of like wanted to laugh, like, really? Like, are you really, do you really want to argue that here? That you're going to be severely prejudiced by a 3-month delay or a 6-month delay when discovery in this case is not scheduled to end until August of 2026, because the wheels of justice in civil court move very, very, very slowly, very slowly. It's kind of embarrassing.
I mean, yeah, that's one of the frustrating things about it is there's when you say the wheels of justice move very slowly, that's 100% true. People are just like, oh my God, they're stalling and this and that. Well, not necessarily. In some cases, I agree with the masses where people are saying, oh, they're just stalling. Like Ken Mello was like the stall master. You
Right.
know, he was
Right.
absolutely stalling. You know what I mean? But
Mm.
in most cases, it's just there's details. There's okay, well, a lawyer might have 10 other cases that they're working on and they need more time to go over certain evidence, or they just got brought on to the case because there was a problem with the last attorney, or they didn't have an attorney before, so there has to be time, and so they have to push the dates a little further and whatnot. But everything revolves around, okay, well, in order to act in the interest of justice here, we need to make sure that everything is fair and everybody has enough time to prepare and do whatever they need to do. So they set these dates based on those things. And so there's going to be continuances and there's going to be things of that nature. And it's just something that when you cover trials, you're going to have to get used to. Those things happen.
You know, as a defendant, you have a right to a speedy trial. In civil court,
Sure.
you have you don't have the right to any, you know, there's a track that they put you on depending on how complex your litigation is, of how long it should take. But based on the track of this civil case, they're saying we'd like everything to be wrapped up by August of 2026, but you could ask for extension upon extension upon extension, and you know, it's ridiculous. Like, it could take forever. But my other question for you is, like, I need proof of life on Ken Mello. Where is he? Has anyone verified that he's still among the living? Is he in Mexico? Like, what happened to Mello Yellow? Where is this guy?
Yeah, I love that. I love that
Proof of
everybody.
life. We need proof of life.
I hope he's okay. I hope he's okay for two reasons. One, because I'm not a total shitbag. I don't hate anybody. I don't
No,
want
it's
anything
just
to happen to him.
he kind of
But
disappeared.
but two, I want him to be okay because I want to see him on that stand. Because that's just
What's the date on that? We got like, I'm already counting the days. We should have a countdown. Like a countdown to how many days until Mello and Tully have to get on the stand and answer for their actions and their choice of not so confidential informants.
It's so funny, dude.
And to get their contact list of whose text messages.
Yeah, this is just very fun. Yeah, so yeah, long story short, Jennifer Coffindoffer doesn't know what the hell she's talking about.
No, but she put us in the same category, that we're both grifters. Wait, let's go back to it, because let's dissect that a little bit more. She said something like that Glare LTL. Okay. She goes, exactly. There are several of them. Little Glare LTL Sean. They have made a mockery of justice for money. Because that's what we're doing. We're making a mockery of justice. We're actually the only ones out here who are standing up for justice.
I mean,
for money,
yeah.
because we're just, we're all rolling around in those new Tesla trucks. But at least one is getting fed up with looking foolish, and then she puts a picture of Sean down there. Like all of a sudden, she's Team Sean. Like what is going? Am I in the Twilight Zone? Because I'm really beginning to wonder.
I don't know what's going on with the Sean stuff.
No, I mean, what is going on with Coffindoffer now? Kissing Sean's ass all of a sudden. Like that's what I don't
because
understand.
Sean has recently spoken up about some grievances that he's had with Karen and Turtle Boy.
Is it
But
Festivus?
I don't
The airing of the
I
grievances? We're
the
doing the
airing of
airing
the
of the grievances. We have the
um
airing of the grievances. Festivus for the rest of us. Just the way you said that reminded me of Seinfeld. Sorry.
no, but I mean I don't know what I once it was explained to me and I realized that it doesn't affect me in any way, shape, or form, and it has nothing to do with me, then I was like, okay, I just hope that they stop fighting. That's where I'm at. So but whatever it is, I hope they work it out. But it seems pretty personal. And so Sean has been very public about his personal grievances, and so these leeches, these sharks, think that they can recruit Sean. They're trying to manipulate Sean. They're trying to
He's
play
so.
mind games
Oh, look, I
and
know
be like,
Sean very well. He's anything but recruitable. Give me a break. I mean,
right, yeah,
give me a break. Sean's a
I
passionate guy. He believes everything that he says, and good luck with that, Coffin Doffy. You know,
yeah, it's I don't know what's going on with that, but I hope it I hope it works itself out. But yeah,
oh, it was nice to be tweeted with in the same sentence with you,
yeah, me
because we're
too.
making a mockery of justice.
But
I'm really listen. I'm really sorry that nobody's watching your YouTube channel. I'm really sorry, but
yeah,
don't hate on us because we have people that like to hang out with us. Sorry
right,
that you don't have any friends or, like, is that what it's about? Because
right.
her YouTube channel is kind of going nowhere. So there's that.
You can't just slap a name, okay, so you have like Sean, who's retired DEA, right?
Mm.
And Sean will, when he's live, he gives like really, really helpful insight as to like how DEA investigations, at least in his experience, how investigations are conducted, how sources are treated and approached, and things of that nature. And then you just get like the opposite sense of logic from Coffindoffer, who claims to be former FBI. And somebody like her is going to claim and wonder like, well, I'm known as former FBI. Why am I not getting as much attention as Sean on the Gulf? Well, it's because people can sense integrity. People can sense when somebody is full of shit. And Coffindoffer, people sense that you're full of shit. So that's why nobody watches you. People watch for insight. They don't watch for, like clickbait only works so far.
Mhm.
Clickbait works as far as getting someone to click. That's it.
Right.
But they're not going to stick around and pay attention as soon as they see that you talk out of your ass and you don't sound anything like any type of law enforcement agent with any experience that anybody's ever heard on YouTube. I mean, Bill Cannon makes more sense than she does. Like,
She she
25
the
years.
show that you did where you impersonated him for like that was before I knew you. And you know that I used to be on Bill's show. Bill and I met in acting school years ago. And I used to be on a show years ago before I started my own channel. And the first
25 years. New York City. Dude, I can't take that guy seriously at all, dude.
You
Like, and
really
I had
should
a
think
lot of
about doing some impersonations. I mean, really, like you're good. You're good at impersonating. I mean, maybe you should just stand up.
no,
You could do
man.
like a
Stand up
comedy
is
show. You and Auntie Deb could do like we could do like a
being a
sketch comedy show, like an SNL type show. That would be fun.
being a funny guy and being a comedian are way.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like those guys to get a good idea of like how tough it is to be a stand-up comedian. I would recommend watching Kill Tony. That shit is rough. Um, those guys are like the stuff. I mean, can you imagine going from town to town? And if you're just having a bad night or you get a bad crowd, you like you're just not
Well,
funny.
you live or
Somebody,
die by the laugh. Like, most comedians are very, very dark people in real life. Like
yeah,
for real, like very
yeah,
depressed. And the reason that they
yeah.
go into comedy is because they're trying to escape from something. I have a very good friend who is a very famous comedian, was on SNL. He was the longest running cast member for a while until I think someone has dethroned him. But he wrote a book, Daryl Hammond, about his childhood and his
That would
life. And he
that
was,
would be if I had to guess who dethroned him. That would be oh my god, I can't remember. He played Fat Albert.
I think it's Keenan,
Um,
right?
Keenan, yeah,
Yeah,
Keenan Thompson,
from
Keenan
Keenan and
Thompson.
Kel, who I met one night at a Billy Joel concert. And I was like, oh my God, are you Keenan from Keenan and Kel? I was like, I'm going to be the coolest mom ever. Let me take a picture with you.
What's up with that is my favorite shit in the world,
Oh
man.
my
It's so
God, he's
funny.
so funny. But Daryl Hammond wrote a book called God, If You're Not Up There, I'm Effed. But of course, he doesn't say effed, he says the word. And it's all about his tragic
Saying the
childhood and
word,
abuse. And
tragic childhood.
yeah, he, started doing impressions because he wanted to like impress his mom. And it was the only thing they could bond against. So,
Mom, do I impress you? Sorry. Saw an opportunity and I took it.
Daryl is hilarious. I'm saying most comedians are not funny. Like when you're with them, they're just not funny. And then when I would be out to dinner with him, I'd be like, "Can you just talk to me like Bill Clinton?" And he'd go,
Yeah, Daryl Hammond was
Melanie,
funny, man. That dude,
Melanie," and
like,
I,
yeah, he was a
um,
natural. He's a natural impressionist, man. Like natural,
yeah,
like that dude. He just who do we get to do the impression? Oh, Daryl Hammond. Like it's
right, right.
a no brainer. Like he did
Um,
everything.
we have to live it up tonight, you guys. We really have to live it up because I feel like it could be the end of the world as we know it, and the world may come to an end on Wednesday. So let's live it up tonight, you guys, because I'm a little bit nervous. I
For
was gonna
real.
go. I want to go to the Daniel Penny trial, right? Because it's happening in New York. Do you know about this guy, Marine, on a subway? Homeless guy comes onto the subway, starts threatening to kill people. He puts the guy in a sleeper hold until the police get there. Turns out he was on synthetic marijuana. He wound up dying, and they're he's on trial for murder. The Marine. What?
See what I
Don't
mean,
talk.
folks? Just
Don't
say no to fake drugs.
don't talk about it. Synthetic marijuana makes people crazy. He was saying,
Yeah.
I'm going to kill people. So anyway, I was going to go see Daniel Penny's trial. And then I'm like, well, wait a second. Tomorrow's not going to be a good day to go there. I'm going to New York City tomorrow. And then I'm like, definitely can't go to New York City on Tuesday because that might even be a worse day to go. And then, well, who knows what's going to happen on Wednesday? It could be the end of the world by Wednesday. So
Everything is
I don't
totally
know.
insane right now. Like, I mean, I normally like. Here's the thing: is I'm not educated enough to debate anyone on politics, but
I
I'm
don't want to talk
still.
about politics ever.
I mean, it's the kind of thing that I feel like we're adults and we should be able to talk about it and be civil,
Oh,
But
not
it's
that we
funny.
won't be civil. We'll just lose half of our audience because it's
But
just
see,
too divisive of a subject.
I'm getting to the point where I don't even care. I don't even care.
It's like who's the
Uh,
least of the worst. I don't know.
right. Yeah. I
But it's
mean,
scary. At the same time, it's very scary. And there are certain creators out there who have built their channel on a political platform, and I watch some of them, and I find them to be very engaging and great. I just couldn't do it. For me,
sure.
it's just not for me.
Well, again, I'm not
This is
educated
divisive
enough
enough. We're
to.
talking about friggin' true crime, and we have
Yeah.
people hating on us. Imagine if we started talking about politics and like real world issues, like abortion and shit. Forget it.
I mean, I'm starting to think that the lack of coverage in mainstream media, or at least in local mainstream media, in Boston on this case is politically driven. I'm starting to think that is the case because I can't think of any other reason why. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense why they would leave. I went over the last live stream I did. I went over the fact that there was that Boston 10 refused they refuse basically to go over anything McAlbert related, anything. They refuse to talk about big developments in this case, but then they decide to go over the big development of the fact that Karen Reed was interviewed by Vanity Fair. That's a big development in the case. So Boston 10 must talk about that. But they, of course, don't talk about how Vanity Fair conducted their own thorough, independent investigation through journalism, through classic
Yes.
journalism, and got their own answers and printed them. They
Mhm.
didn't talk about any of those discoveries. They didn't talk about the fact that they got their own expert to conduct the test, or to talk about the 227 search. They didn't
Which
talk about
happened, by the way.
right. They didn't talk about any of that stuff. But then, but they felt it was really important to talk about how Karen Reed feels that, she is the happiest murder defendant, because like, and obviously in order to paint her to be unremorseful and just, wicked, and,
Well, they hate
and
her. They hate her. Why does Jennifer Coffindoffer first of all, have you seen this other we can curse, right? Because
yeah,
it's
yeah,
after dark.
yeah.
This other asshole who's on Court TV the other
Well,
night
you
talking
can
about
curse because you're on my channel.
talking talking about talking about, talking about how much he hates Karen Reed. Did you see this guy? Big Case Mike on Court TV literally
Oh,
said,
that she was
"I
a
hate
narcissist
Karen
and he
Reed.
hated her. Yeah, I
I
went over
hope
him.
she gets convicted. I hope that she gets enough proverbial rope to hang herself.
Yeah, I
I
went
hate
over
her.
that.
She's a narcissist." He went on for 5 minutes about it. It was disgusting. When did
Like,
we move away from
the Court
the
TV guy was even uncomfortable. He was
Matt,
like,
poor Matt.
yeah, well, that's your opinion, and
Yeah, Big Case Mike is not he's not going to get many more big cases after that
who
appearance because
who is this guy?
his
Big
name
Case
is
Mike. Is he a
Mike
lawyer?
Mike Jafar. It's like Jaafar. He's
Does he
called
have a YouTube channel?
no, but he's on Twitter at Big Case Mike. Um and it was just on Court TV like yesterday, maybe the day before. Matt did the piece and Matt was, you know, pissed. He's like, I can't believe that they put this guy on my show. Like he was not at Matt was the fall guy on this. Like he had no idea this guy was going to say this stuff. Olivia, I just want to say that I'm 100% with you on Daniel Penny. Boy, if my kids were on that subway train, I would have wished he was on there. Yeah. No, this is him. This is Big Case Mike.
He looks like I mean, he's a fucking clown, this guy. Look
He
at him.
looks like Satan.
That's what I said yesterday or the day before, whatever my last live stream was. I think it was the day before.
But why do people? When did we move away from the we're the United States of America proposition that every defendant is deemed innocent until if and when proven guilty in a court of law? Why does a person like Jennifer Coffindoffer feel the need to tweet about Karen Reed 5 times a day? About her hatred for Karen Reed? Like,
so
why is it
weird.
so personal?
That's what I want to know. It's not personal.
Why is
Like
it for that guy? That guy doesn't know Karen Reed from a hole in the wall. Like, what? I hate her. I hope she gets convicted. I mean, it was weird. It was weird. It was uncomfortable. And Core TV wonders why they're losing subscribers by the droves, and people are coming to YouTubers to get the real information because they're so out of it. They're so out of touch. They're just out of touch. They don't have their finger on the pulse of what's going on the way that we do. Right, guys?
yeah, I mean, right. They just simply don't. Like it's really weird to watch people who are supposedly educated people just completely shit the bed with their mouths every single time they
Mhm.
talk. Just-
Limbic Beauty says because the SSRIs aren't working on her. I don't know. I just don't understand where all this hatred is coming from. It's like I think Karen Reed is not guilty because, physics, injuries. John
right.
O'Keefe was not hit by
It's
a car.
science.
And I knew this even before the Crash Daddies knew it. I knew it. And I said it on
Right.
Court TV back in January. And
Oh, the
Coffindoffer
crash
was
daddies
she was on
just
Court
could.
TV with me twice. And she tried to make
Yeah,
me look like an idiot. And I don't forget. I don't forget. I
but
pretend
she's
to forgive, but I don't forget.
but she's an idiot, you know? Like it's when an idiot tries to make a smart person look like an idiot, they're just gonna look like an idiot. You know what I mean? Like that's that's never gonna work out for them. Um it's I every time she's gone on Twitter, every time she's gone on Court TV talking about Karen Reed, she sounds stupid. That's why Court TV doesn't have her on there anymore.
Mm.
So, I mean, but at the same time, it's like, look at who they just. I mean, I wonder if this guy they brought on, this guy,
Hmm.
they brought him on yesterday or day before yesterday or the day before that. And then I played it day before yesterday, but
That was the one
he,
where he said, "I hate her. I hate Karen Reed."
yeah,
Mhm.
let me see if I don't know if it's up here. I mean, he seems to
I
post
don't think he
every
didn't. He
single.
didn't post it.
He
Because
seems
if
to
you look
post.
in the comments of his top one, people started getting in there like, "Are you that a-hole that was on Court TV talking about how much you hated Karen Reed? What's wrong with you? You're never going to get another case ever again."
Excuse me.
Bless you. Bless you.
Thank you.
During the Sarah Boone trial, the judge, anytime somebody sneezed in the courtroom, he would stop the proceedings to bless the person. It was amazing.
I love that
That judge
judge.
was amazing. If that judge could come to Norfolk County, this trial would be tight. Judge Kranick. Crazy. I call him balloon head. Oh,
Do what now?
bless her
Sorry,
heart.
I'm looking for this.
Bless her heart.
I'm looking for this.
The Court TV
Oh,
thing?
yeah. What? Yeah.
Oh, I can
I
send it to you. You want me to send it to you?
well, I mean, no. I just played it, so it's in my history.
Yeah, but how long is
Yeah.
your history? I know,
Right.
because when
It's
I
right
try and look
here.
for something in my history, I can't find it either.
It's right here. I got it. Let me just cue it up to when
Will's
Dickhead.
lost in the comments. I don't know. I have a feeling. Somebody said, "I wish they'll change the judge." I have a feeling that Cannoni's going to be off the case. I have a feeling that that information leaked out a little too soon for the PR person's liking, and they had to quickly squash it. That she was being rotated out because the
Right.
what happened that week was like the Beto bombs dropped and all this other information, and I think it was just like they had to put that fire out quickly and just no, 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 not that's not true. That's not true. But I think in the end, she probably will be rotated out and probably will not be on this case because she may be a witness. So
Yeah.
it's going
She
to be a
might be.
problem.
She might be a witness. That's actually true.
So don't lose
Uh,
hope, friends. Don't lose hope.
let's listen to this dickhead one more time.
For national criminal attorney. No surprise, Michael.
Look at how
And he's not a
smug he
criminal
already
attorney.
is. Look at how smug he is already. Like, look at
He's
him.
not a
Like,
criminal attorney. I know you're a movie guy. Do you remember that movie with was it Al Pacino? And he played the devil. And I think it was
the
about a
devil's
lawyer.
advocate.
Yes, yes, yes. That's what he reminds me of, that character.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Devil's
yeah.
advocate, right?
He kind of does. Where does
Matt
where
misnamed
does he
him as
sleep? Who says he sleeps? Where does he fuck? Everywhere.
that was a good movie. Was it who played the young lawyer? Keanu Reeves?
Keanu, yeah.
Yeah. That was good. That was a good movie.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Keanu with a Gainesville Southern accent was kind of weird, um, but it was yeah, I like that movie.
Have Michael Jafer,
Now
national.
look at him. He's got one of those he's one of those dudes that just like when he talks has that head cocking bobbing thing where he's just so fucking smug. I can't stand dudes like this. Like yeah, this is a guy who fucking I said what I said
Bobblehead.
what I said the other day was that this guy strikes me as the kind of guy that haggles with strippers. Like what do you mean $25? That wasn't even barely half a song.
national criminal attorney. No surprise, Michael, that the judge made a ruling that the civil trial can't take place until after the criminal is wrapped up.
I agree with the judge's decision. Look, I hate Karen Reed. I detest this woman.
Wow.
I want to see her convicted in her next criminal case.
It's like literally the first thing he says.
But I want to see it done the right way, right? Had the judge not done this, obviously it would have divided the community further because she's created this whole entire conspiracy hoax. She's made the whole thing up. And so because of that, there's division in that community that she sowed herself intentionally.
What's that?
He's like, she's made the whole thing up. It's a hoax. She made up this whole hoax. And he says the judge had to do this. Otherwise, it would have divided the community even further.
I love that. I love that she made up the whole hoax of how fucked
hoax.
up the investigation was.
She
Like,
made it
what an elaborate hoax that she managed to be able to doctor every single police report, every single documentation or lack thereof of chain of custody of evidence. I just love it. Yeah, Karen is the Lex Luthor of cop killers. Amazing.
She planted those messages in Proctor's phone.
Right, exactly. Amazing.
What a hoax.
This guy's a fucking idiot.
Intentionally to deflect attention from herself. With that being said, the judge could have forced her to go forward with the deposition and she would have just invoked her Fifth Amendment privileges, and that would have
Joe, flip ahead.
Created a negative inference in the civil case. It could not create a negative inference in the criminal case that's going to come, but it would have created a negative inference in the civil case. But then it would have just played into her whole entire narrative of, look, the whole system is against me and I'm a heroine.
Like, he straight up looks like Anton LaVey. Like just straight up with hair. He look. Anton LaVey is the author of the Satanic Bible.
Well, if the shoe fits, I mean,
I'll Google a picture of him after this is done, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. People, we're just hanging out here, dude. Like, if you guys are expecting like some deep like insight here, you might get it. It might happen naturally, but don't get your hopes high. We're just hanging out here and talking shit.
And who's fighting to protect the system. I think the judge made the right decision. I'm proud of the decision. I think the decision was right. I don't think she should have been forced to move forward with the deposition in her civil case. It could wait. Her criminal case is right around the corner. This could wait. Civil cases last years, by the way. They're not like criminal. They last years. And so this is not, it would have been way too fast to force her to be deposed before the criminal case. And obviously the attorneys for the family wanted it done this way. They also made the right move. It was a chess move to force her to toe the line and file this motion. And so everything happened the way it should happen. The system worked for now, and I'm proud of the decision that
everything happened the way it should happen.
Can we just talk about his eyebrows for a second?
Everything happens for a reason.
Look at the arch of his eyebrows.
Telling you,
like it's like somebody penciled those in to make them look satanic.
Dude, I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like, wait till I'm gonna Google it as soon as this is over.
The judge did.
Yeah, and the threshold, to remind our viewers, is much less in a civil case than it is a criminal case. But again, that deposition could have been used against her in court because she would have been under oath. It's almost making her testify before the next jury gets the case. But you know what could be used in court, what wasn't used in the first trial, but is still on the table, is all of the interviews that she's been doing on national news.
Yeah. By the way, I hate this woman, and I hope she puts her foot in her mouth. I hope that she has enough, basically, metaphor.
This guy hates women in general. Like, you can just tell. You could just tell.
I
like he gives me fucking Mickey Drink vibes. Like, straight, he totally does. Like, if you go out on a date with this guy, just make sure your drink has a top on it. Ask for it.
Don't leave your drink unattended.
Ask for it unopened. Like, now I don't know these things for fact. I'm just saying he gives me that vibe. That's all. You just, you know.
I want to take a shower after just watching this
right.
clip.
Yeah. This is definitely
Listen to what he says next.
metaphorical rope to basically hang herself with her interviews. She's a narcissist. Again, these are my opinions, obviously, not that of anybody else. My opinion is she's a narcissist, and she's worried about one person and one person only.
And I love how this guy, as a lawyer, thinks it's ethical to medically diagnose someone of a psychological disorder. That's really responsible. Good for you, buddy. I love that for you.
He's hoping she hangs herself with her metaphorical rope. Okay. Not only does he not realize that Proctor said, I wish she would just kill herself, but Sandra Birchmore happened to also happen in this same community. A woman who actually was hung by another cop. So you know what? Your little metaphors are maybe a little bit misplaced and kind of gross in this context, sir.
He totally has a VIP card at the strip club.
Somebody said he's peacocking. He's totally peacocking. He's like
peacocking.
And read. I'm not saying she's that thing because of the fact that she defended herself and she pled not guilty and she vigorously defended herself. Everybody has a right to do that. That's not at all the problem. The problem is when you defend yourself, but then you lie and you blame an entire community and a police department that has been riddled with its own controversy to do that in order to deflect attention from yourself.
So she lied about Proctor. She lied about she lied about the investigation. She lied about the solo cups. She lied about the no ring camera from the neighbor who's a cop. She lied about the stop and shop bags. She lied about the 3 liters of blood that was never recovered.
And the 227 search and the butt dials. And the
she fabricated a Celebrate report. What?
What the Ford Edge that was never investigated, and the house that nobody ever went into, the dog that disappeared,
where does Court TV dig these people up, man?
The evidence that was thrown in the back seat of a car for 6 weeks, and the clothing, and the 0 chain of custody, and the stop and shop. We could go on. the leaf blower to find evidence. Hey, Goody, can you shoot home? Can you shoot home? You got a leaf blower?
Dude, Gallagher.
Shoot right back. I think it would be a great idea. We just stop blowing around a couple of the layers of slow. See what we find, maybe a little evidence. And then they don't find the red taillight pieces that magically appear during the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Lie about that too.
Right. It's so insane. And then you have Gallagher just embarrassing. He's an embarrassment sitting on that stand to all cops, dude. And I'm not even a cop, but I imagine that if I'm a cop and I see this guy sitting up there talking about going to his house and grabbing a leaf blower, getting solo cups and shit, and then just sitting there on the stand no, that's not normally practice that we usually.
How about Officer Sergeant Buchanan? Is this a fair and accurate representation of the way that Karen's car looked inside the Sally port on the morning that you were there? Yes. Oh, wait a second. On Cross, isn't that actually inverted? Yes, but didn't you just say it was a fair and accurate representation of the? I don't recall. Did she make that up too? Did she doctor that video? Because somebody did, and it wasn't Karen.
It's just so funny that this guy, dude, I understand if you're just going up there Plevin style, I'm a guy in my attic and I don't know shit about the law. And so I'm going to run my mouth and say all this irresponsible shit.
He was their expert for a while. He was their expert.
But he's a legal expert and he's up here just talking out of his ass. It's like Court TV. What are you doing? You guys are who vets these people?
Yourself, so that you don't get pulled over that night for a drunk driving and go to jail for a felony for driving. And even if you accidentally hit John O'Keefe, but you were so drunk that it becomes a felony that has mandatory prison sentences. When you do that, when you go back to his house, when you put up a story that you are being framed and all of it has been debunked, when you do that, I believe that you're a narcissist. And
none of it has been debunked. None of it has been debunked.
There's no evidence that she was even drunk. Every single one of those people who gave statements at the waterfall said she was not drunk at all.
Right. Or
no evidence that she was drunk.
At least that she didn't appear drunk. So,
None.
Right. So that's fair to say no evidence that she was drunk at all.
Yes.
None. So like this guy,
Is he just trying to be hyperbolic and bombastic? Because
I think that's what he is. I think he's just trying to like make a name for himself by being a personality on court TV to help his practice, maybe. Because all of his posts on Twitter are his court TV appearances. All of it. Like
oh,
every single one on when you go through his Twitter, it's all
well, if you
just
read the comments on this video, I don't think they're going to be calling him again.
yeah, like
Well, people didn't like this very much.
yeah, it's because he's stupid. I mean, he's talking out of his ass. Like
Did he even watch the trial?
every expert that they bring on here talking about Karen Reed did no research on the Karen Reed case. Like you were the only one that they had on there that knew even remotely what they were talking about. The only one that is considered an attorney that I've seen on court TV that actually was familiar with the case. That's what blows my mind.
Yeah, nothing was debunked, guy. Nothing was
No,
debunked. In fact, that's why we have jury trials. In fact, that's why there was a hung jury that didn't convict her. So you
yeah,
might want to take a step back. Maybe
the
next time,
fact
go
is-
watch the trial. Go watch
the
our coverage on the trial, and maybe you might learn a little thing or two.
the only thing that would have debunked everything, that would have debunked her defense, would have been a conviction. I mean, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. So what's he talking about?
And that's why the interviews don't shock me. I'm sure she's going to have a book deal. She's going to have a book deal if she gets acquitted in the second case. She's going to spend the rest of her life smugly claiming that she stood up to the system and won, right?
That is 100%. That is the one true thing that he said. And I absolutely support Karen Reed 100%. I can't wait till she's sitting there all smug, fucking promoting a book and talking about how fucking she beat the system. I can't fucking wait for it. Like, I'm here for it, popcorn in hand.
This guy is an injury lawyer. How many pedestrian cases has he covered? How many has he handled? How many clients has he ever represented that have been hit by cars that did not have any injuries below the neck?
That's a great
no
point.
Bumper marks, no bruising.
He could actually be insightful if he wanted to be. That's
how many
really
dog bite cases has he ever handled? Have you ever seen what a dog bite looks like when a dog attacks a kid?
Right.
Or a person? You ever seen what dog bites look like? That's what's so
that.
mystifying to me about this.
Right. I did not think of that. He's
in the business of injuries.
Could absolutely be super insightful if he chose to be. Instead, he chose to be a jackass. It's a great point.
Just the way I hate her. She's a narcissist. What, dude? Why is it, Big Mike? Why is it so personal to you? Why do you hate her? I don't get it. Can't we just like believe a person's guilty or not guilty without actually physically hating them? Like, she's living rent free in your head, dude. She's living rent free in a lot of people's heads.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say what I think of this guy truly.
Oh, come on, tell us how you really feel.
I would never do that, but
you're a little cunt.
Oh, I hate that word, but yes.
Yeah, I opt not to use that word out of.
But I love Kristen Wiig
because you're here, so I will not use that word.
Boy, cunt.
So I will not use that word out of respect for you, Melanie. Never.
Thank you.
Never, ever.
Oh man. Like in Britain, it's like a common thing. It's like not even like an insult. But like here, I think it is like probably the worst word that you could call a woman.
You're a magnificent cunt.
I mean, see, the thing is I don't discriminate. You know, I use the word in the exact same context for any man or woman. It doesn't matter. But yeah.
Well, can we say that this man is compensating for a small penis then by behaving this way on court TV?
I've had an audience pretty steady that I've had some British people in here and some Australian people, and that it just became the norm to use that word on this channel quite a bit, and so I just do. But I get it. I know it's sensitive to a lot of women, but If you know me, you know that I'm not.
I know.
I would never use that to
Totally has a
in
small penis.
in the context of insulting a woman specifically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this guy, I bet you does.
He does what?
So I really hope she gets convicted in this next criminal case. I'm proud of the civil suit. I think the civil suit is going to, even if she gets acquitted in the second case, that civil case, she's going to get found responsible for his murder in the civil case. Again, a prediction by me, and she's going to spend the rest of her life paying tens of millions of dollars or getting her bank account seized or real estate seized. I think this woman's got some problems for the rest of her life that she created with her
You know what?
own narcissism.
Only asshole plaintiff attorneys go after defendants in civil cases for personal assets. Okay. And here's the reason why you can't do it. Because, first of all, you can't go after anybody's house or their bank accounts or their, garnish their wages until if and when you have a judgment. Okay. And if there's a judgment, you would never be able to accept any insurance proceeds as settlement and settle the case and then still go after their personal assets. I can't even believe that this guy's a personal injury lawyer because that's just not how it works. It doesn't work that way. There's insurance for that, and you would never be able to settle with the insurance company and then have her paying tens of millions of dollars for the rest of her life. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to be flashy for court TV. I think he's trying to, he's basically campaigning for his business. You know what I mean? For his practice is what it looks like. Like people are trying to get people to go, oh my God, this guy's a real go-getter. He's real shrewd. He's a shrewd guy. So that's the guy I want.
But he's only showcasing that he doesn't understand the law. That's what he's showcasing here.
Right. Yeah, that's the overall point is he's trying to be you're right, exactly. A Timu lawyer.
Somebody said who said that glitter.
He's throwing glitter on he's throwing sprinkles on cake batter without cooking it, without baking it. It's weird. He's putting icing in cake batter. Like this guy's an idiot. Like just people want someone who knows what they're talking about.
Rubber Ducky Free Karen Reed says Big Mike with a little dick, which is funny. I bet you he does have billboards wherever he's in Michigan.
Oh yeah, this guy's definitely got tiny dick vibes for sure. Definitely, yeah. And
what car do you think he drives?
Oh, definitely a sports car.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, yeah, definitely something foreign. I'm gonna say probably a BMW, like a sporty BMW. I would say, most definitely. I think that this dude is he definitely. I think he wears bikini briefs.
Yeah, maybe banana hammock, bathing suit.
Most definitely, right. Yeah, bikini briefs, most definitely, right. Yeah, or an Audi, right, or a Porsche. Yeah, definitely.
Hatchback. Drives a Ford Edge.
He's the kind of guy that will publicly tell people to vote Kamala because he thinks it might help his practice, but he's going to go vote for Trump. He's going to tell people to vote Kamala and then vote for Trump. That's the kind of guy he is.
All right. Well, that's your opinion. And you're
this guy.
All right. Well, that's your opinion. And
that was the Karen Reed trial every day. Every day Matt was there.
This guy's just like, yikes. Totally cringed the court TV guy. Totally cringed him.
It's like, dude, if you're going to be on court TV, do a little better than earbuds, my man. Get yourself like a real microphone, maybe. Some real headphones. Apparently he's been on it a lot because people were pointing out other cases that he had been on there to talk about.
There's Anton LaVey.
Oh, perfect. It's perfect.
The author of the Satanic Bible.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, they could be brothers.
that's what I'm trying to tell you. This dude is yeah, what a douche.
Velvet wallpaper in his bathroom. Yeah, he hates women. He's a misogynist. That's what he is. I want her to pay tens of $1 million for the rest of her life.
I hate this woman. Jesus, bro.
I detest this woman.
Jesus, who hurt you, guy?
Exactly.
Totally.
What happened, Big Mike?
His mom, yeah. ¿Qué te pasa, brother?
What happened, Big Mike?
¿Qué te pasa? ¿Qué te hicieron, papu?
He probably drives a Chevy Avalanche, first generation green.
Te
Rick
tocaron en el
Shearman, he's one of Rex.
particular.
Maybe he's been to some freak offs.
That's what I'm saying.
A freak off.
I
GTD
feel
freak off.
like his mom probably, he has those flashbacks of his mom fucking making him like rub himself with soap so hard that it strips his skin, and he's just, you're a dirty boy. Scrub it harder. Get all that filth off of you, and you can't get it off because you're so filthy. You're filthy on the inside because you're a filthy boy.
I can't unsee it either. We have to change the subject. Quick subject change. Quick pivot.
All right, let me go over
So
some
how
super
about the
chats.
Yankees?
Let me go over some super chats real quick.
He was turned away at the freak off. He was too freak.
I think we got a super chat. Super chat. I think we got a super chat. Super chat. Super chat. Super chat. I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
Back on, sorry.
I got Melody dancing to
I was
it. All
grooving.
right, let's go over each one of these real quick. BLT says, thank you. The first time I caught a live of modern day Nichols and May Burns and Alan Stiller and Mira, you guys would make a great podcast. Just saying. Thanks, Claire, for hosting this party. Smoke them if you got them, chat. I love it. Thank you so much. Rachel, thank you. I really believe that the civil lawsuit was a play for the O'Keefe family to team up with Karen to take down the McAlberts and MSP, and that would have been epic. No, yeah, that would have been great.
That would have been a good plot twist. I agree.
That would have been fantastic, but because I love and appreciate you both. Cool people. Thank you, KG. That's awesome. Appreciate it. And Lori Life became a new member.
Yeah, Lori, we love Lori.
And VLT and Glamasuz. Can Jen McKay bring her prior testimony or notes with her to a deposition? I don't know.
Well, if she did, they would become immediately discoverable, and the attorney would say, "Let me have those notes," and he would go copy them in the other room, and he'd have it. Yeah. So I always tell my clients, don't bring anything to the deposition. Don't bring any notebooks. Don't bring any journals, because once you do, they're allowed to have them. So
nice. Cynthia Lynch, thank you so much for the super sticker. Kat Randall, I think, gifted a membership. Thank you for gifting a membership. And Resting Bitch Face says, say Mike Hunt 5 times fast and it tells all. True. Just an observer, thank you. Off camera, I bet this clown is exactly like Ellis in Die Hard. Totally. Oh my God, dude. I gotta give you
that was
fantastic,
fantastic
reference. Fantastic reference.
Wait till we get Dane Cook on here with us. That's going to be epic.
Yeah, if he ever agrees to do it.
I'll get him. You think I won't?
I mean, okay. If you
all right, game on.
Great. I'm not gonna bother the guy because he's like on tour and he's like in the middle of rebuilding his career. The guy was labeled like the Nickelback of comedy for like ever, and now he's coming back and I hope he makes it, man. I hope like he becomes really big again, just because I appreciate his work ethic, man. Like I respect his boldness and his determination to get back out there and just play club after club after club the way he is right now. It's inspiring, really.
Well,
Good for
he's
him.
really making a comeback. Even better
Yeah.
than Dane Cook is Army
Yeah,
Hammer.
he went through some shit, like, his I think his brother or somebody, don't quote me on that, I don't know for sure, but someone stole a bunch of money from him, and he just ended up broke, and so, yeah, the poor guy, like, I mean, just the public turned on him for no reason, like, he didn't get canceled because he did anything wrong, he just people stopped liking him because he
Tale
just
as
became
old as
the
time. Getting
standard
ripped off by
for
your relative who's managing your money like Billy Joel and so many others that happen too. It sucks.
Yeah, so I'm really rooting for him. I'm really hoping that like his career takes off all over again. Like he deserves it. Um and let's see. Yellow Truth Seeker says this guy probably buys haunted satanic houses for fun.
Oh yeah, like the murder house in um American Horror Story. I had to go visit that when I was in LA with my daughter because we love American Horror Story. So we had to
Right.
find the actual house and go there and take a picture.
Chrissy Mel 51, thank you. Karen renting spaces and so many heads. Checkmate. Yes, true. And AJ Charles became a new member. Thank you. AJ Charles just wanted to say I love you both. We love you too, AJ
We
Charles.
love
Thank you.
you.
Awesome. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. Yes, and I'll, if there's more that come through, I'll go over them before we end the show.
You know who's making an amazing comeback right now? And well
Who?
deserved too, is Army Hammer. Do you know who Army Hammer is?
Yeah, I
The
know
actor who
all
totally
about
got
that.
canceled because they said he was a
Yeah.
cannibal and shit. He's making a comeback. He just got his first like job back in Hollywood. Like he lost everything. And he comes from a really, really wealthy, like
I
famous
watched
family.
I watched the documentary on him on that, and I don't know what to think of it. I don't know what to think of his uh of those texts
You know what you should watch?
and what
Watch.
he was
He did an
doing.
interview with Piers Morgan. I don't know, it was a couple
Okay.
months ago, maybe, where he totally like answered what it was kind of like the Vanity Fair author had like unfettered access to Karen Reed. Like Army Hammer was like, ask me whatever you want, Piers Morgan. And it was like he was vulnerable. He answered like every freaking question. But yeah, he just got a job, so good for him. I like to see a good comeback because that guy didn't really do it. He didn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he killed somebody and ate them, you
Right.
know? Like, I mean,
He's no Diddy, he's
it sounded to me like based on the evidence that I was, seeing in the documentary, the safest thing that I could conclude would be that the guy had a drinking problem and
and he cheated on his wife. I mean,
right, and he was just really, really, he had some fantasies, but kink shaming, it's not something we do here. You know
well,
what I
he
mean?
got canceled over it, so
And right, and that's the thing is it seems like he just had some bad judgment, as far as like
yeah.
and probably didn't take hints very well from the girl that was, but at the same time, that girl also, she didn't give me great vibes either.
Yeah, they
So,
just they turned on him, You know how it is. You're a
right.
celebrity
So
like that, people try and extort you, they want money, it's
or just publicity, this it's but yeah, like I mean, I don't see the problem with this dude being able to do what he does, which is act. And he honestly, he's not really one of my favorite actors. He's kind of he's the kind of guy that I found forgettable,
but he's
when
really
I
good
saw
at
him in
playing the
roles.
douchey characters, he's always playing a real
Well,
douche, like that's
he's
his
good at
type.
playing forgettable characters. Like, you know what I mean? They're not really they're not. You have the guy, he played the twins in what do you call it? He played the twins in The Social Network about Mark.
Yeah,
Yeah, he played the twins in that movie, the Facebook movie. He was the Lone Ranger with Johnny Depp, which I don't know how the hell they got away with that shit. Johnny Depp in Native American face. Uh I don't know how
He
they
was
got
in
away with
Call Me
that
by
shit.
Your Name. You probably didn't see that, but he was good in that.
And he was also in what do you call it? Nocturnal Animals. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, I think I did. Yeah, that was really creepy, right?
You super creepy, like Jake
Yeah.
Gyllenhaal. The guy who's playing Craven the Hunter, that guy, yeah, he's married to a much older woman. Somebody was just telling me about that he's married to a much older woman,
Who
and
is? No, who?
no, the actor that was in the Nocturnal Animals, that was the creepy guy, the really bad guy. That, remember in the beginning, the scene where they harass the family and pull them
So long ago
over?
that I saw it. Oh,
Yeah,
yes, that's right. That's what that movie was about. Yeah, where they were
right.
pulled over and then they were being chased the whole time in the
It's an
car.
unforgettable scene, right? It's a
Yeah.
very, very disturbing
Mhm.
scene, and that main guy was so creepy and so riveting,
Yeah.
and it just made me think of that, because I mean, it's off the subject, but we were thinking of that movie, and then I just had to talk about how riveting that guy was.
Yeah, Amy Adams was in that, Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, 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 and Michael Shannon, I thought he was a really cool character,
Yeah.
having cancer and nothing to lose, and he's a cop. And he's
Mhm.
just like, I thought that was just so cool, and he's one of my favorite actors. So,
That was one of those movies that really sticks with you, like Midsummer.
yeah,
Anybody in the chat ever watch Midsummer? That is like a movie that you have to talk about, like, for days. Like, it takes even days to even digest the fuckery that went on in that movie. Like, it was
the
it haunted
the
me really
the
long,
cinema
that
the
movie.
cinematography was brilliant. Like, it was a beautiful
Mhm.
film,
Yeah.
honestly.
The flowers
Like,
and
it
the
was shot beautifully, yeah.
yeah,
Which is what made the disturbing parts, like, it added a contrast
right.
to the very graphic, disturbing images, very brilliantly.
Yes. Somebody said you have to watch it several times. Maria said, "Yeah, I agree." It was really messed up.
Lovely Bones was too long for me, but I thought Stanley Tucci was brilliant in that. Extremely creepy. I'm gonna
Yeah.
step away for just a second. I just got to get another energy drink. Be right back.
Oh, all right. I'll entertain the people. Hello, peeper. People. Yeah, Midsummer is a folk horror masterpiece. 100%. I thought it was a crazy. You're gonna tune in now, Emily? Or tuning into us now? Or you're gonna go watch Midsummer? That was really, and I love Florence Pugh. I think she's amazing in everything that she does. All right, good. Now I'm gonna go get my drink. I'll be right back.
I didn't notice any I didn't recognize any actors in that movie.
Which one?
But it was a good movie. Midsummer.
Oh, I'm going off.
Hold on. Perfect opportunity.
I think we got a super dad. Super dad. I think we got a super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Super dad. Dad, 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 dad. I think we got a super dad. I think we got a super dad.
Let's see here. That attorney, no doubt, lives in a house he inherited from his grandmother, and still has rose pattern wallpaper. Sorry, Plevin. Oh, she didn't want to come on camera yet. Thank you so much. And AJ Charles, is there any way this trial will happen January? I mean, it looks like it is happening. So, Dane groomed his wife from a teen till they married. I mean, I don't know anything about that. I have no idea about anything about that.
As far as the January trial goes, I mean, it depends on what happens with this appeal, right? Because it's going to be argued next week. Let's say this Court of Appeals or the SJC sends it back for a hearing. It'll go back to Judge Bev or another judge for a hearing because Judge Bev may be now a witness where they call the jurors back in and question them. And then they'll have to rule on that. So who knows how long it's going to take? First of all, for the SJC to make a decision. and
Yeah.
it could be appealed. Whoever doesn't like that decision may appeal it. So it may push the trial out. I hope it doesn't, but it may. I mean,
Yeah,
Karen's already
Olivia.
$5 million in debt. She owes her attorneys $5 million, according to that Vanity Fair article, which is an
Right.
insane amount of money.
It is, but I mean, I can't imagine a defense like this being any less than one of the most expensive defenses that you can get.
Right.
You know, considering what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of work.
Right. I mean, they're trying to prove a conspiracy from between people in power in Canton and in the Commonwealth and Norfolk County. So, I mean, there's a lot of people. She's taking on an entire system. This is not even an understatement.
And look how long the trial was. Look how long the trial was. I mean, I've watched several trials since then, some of which, like Sarah Boone, was like 6 days start to finish. I mean, there was no reason that this trial needed to be 9 weeks long, except that Lally had to call every single person who ever drove by 34 Fairview in their life. Every single person was a witness. It was unnecessary.
And even more to boot, how unnecessary it was is how he manages to present this long case that did by failing to present a case. He didn't even present a case the entire time. Like I understand having to take that long because there's so much evidence. I understand that, but you dragged this case along and showed no evidence.
Right. It was more like, let's confuse everybody to the point where nobody can make heads or tails of anything that we say, and just confuse the
Right.
shit out of them and then hope that it goes our way. And, it kind of did, because they were so confused that they didn't know what to believe. And the fact that they only had an hour each for closings was an absolute joke.
Especially considering how long the trial took. Now, I understand somebody might say, well, that's why, because the trial took so long, so Bev only gave people an hour. Yeah, but the fact is the trial did take that long. There's a lot of information to process. You need more than an hour for closing arguments, period.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I know. Sarah Boone, like I said, it was a 6-day trial. They had 90 minutes for closings. When you have
Agreed.
when you have a 6-week trial, how long was it? 9 weeks, this trial? I mean, you need a lot more than that to tie up everything for the jury at the end of it. It was just crazy. Oh yeah, what about Jim? What about Jim the clerk? Somebody said.
Let me give you this one real quick, just because I want to give them their $5 worth.
Oh, hi, AJ.
Switch gears, Delphi. What do you think of Andrea Burkhart's writ of mandamus?
It's interesting. So Andrea Burkhart is a lawyer, a law tuber who's been in court every single day for the trial, and she's the one who tried to see the exhibits. And the court, Judge Gull, has said only media can see the exhibits after court for 15 minutes. The public's not allowed to see them. She won't release the audio of the trial. There's no cameras in there. So Andrea made a motion and said, I want to be able to see the exhibits. And the judge said, basically, F you. Well, no. So Andrea filed an action in the Supreme Court.
You gotta love that shit.
Hey, guess what? I want you to order Judge Gull to release this stuff to the public because the public has a right to it. So we'll see what happens in the Supreme Court of Indiana, but good for Andrea.
Andrea Burkhart is
fighting for the public's right to know.
That's what I'm saying. Andrea Burkhart is the Joan of Arc of law tubers. I love it.
She's so
Good
smart.
for you.
She scares me. She's so smart. She's wicked. She's wicked smart.
Wicked smart.
She's wicked smart.
Yeah, good for her. That's amazing. Yeah. Now, keep in mind, I don't know. I don't know the Delphi case very much. So, but if you do super chat Delphi questions, I will hand them over to Melanie. Excuse me. I will hand them over to Melanie.
Question for Melanie. I know there's been a lot of documentaries, news, etc. Does the mainstream public know about the Odinism angle? Not unless they've been following the pretrial motions. So that's what I've been doing on my channel while everyone else has been in court, reporting on the daily shenanigans of court. I've been going over the prior motions, and I went over at length all of the Odinist theories and the third-party culprits that were investigated by the FBI in the beginning of this case, and we went over all the reasons why we think the jury should be able to hear about that stuff, but the judge said no. So I don't think the general public knows unless they've been really following the case, but I did cover it this week on my channel. If you want to learn about it, it's really interesting stuff.
Yeah, if you guys are interested in the because I mean it turns out that this guy may be innocent, right?
They have no DNA. They have nothing really connecting him to this crime. There's no
Right.
DNA. There's no,
Do
he
you
put
do
himself
you
there
think he's
because
innocent?
I don't think they can prove that he's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I
Right.
do believe that he was railroaded and tortured in prison. And, he's a guy who volunteered himself a couple of days after the killings because they said if anybody was in the area at the time, please come in, let us know. So he volunteered and he went in there to say that he was there. And then almost 6 years later, they're arresting him because they found a tip in a box. And they're like, oh, this guy looks like maybe he could be bridge guy. Let's call him in. Like there's just no there. They've got these
Yeah.
confessions that were made in prison after he was there for 13 months on drugs
Yeah.
in a psychotic
least-
break. He was eating his own feces, by the way, and smearing his feces all over his face, all
Oh my
on camera.
God.
And then he's
Wow.
saying, I'll say whatever you want. I'll say whatever they want me to say. Is my wife okay? Is my daughter okay?
Wow.
Is everybody okay? I killed them. I
Jesus.
killed them. I want to confess. I killed them. I killed the girls. I killed the girls. And he had a psychiatrist in there who was seeing him every day, or psychologist, who was a true crime fan, telling him all the
What?
stuff about what the online people were saying about him in his case.
Oh my God.
Yes, you can't make it up.
That is the most unethical shit I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, yeah. She was out there, Dr. Monica Walla, telling Richard Allen all the stuff that they were talking about online about his case. And she admitted it on the stand. Oh, yeah, I told him. I thought, it would help him to have a connection to the outside.
Dude, that is crazy.
Yeah, there's some really weird, interesting stuff. I mean, it looked like the crime scene photos looked like it could have been like a ritualistic type sacrificial killing. And then one of the girls' boyfriend's dad had all this shit on his Facebook, like that showed ritualistic type killings and eerie paintings that looked exactly like the crime scene, the way the bodies were posed. Like, it's crazy.
Dude, yeah, that's Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, and the thing is people don't understand, like, when it comes to a lot of these high profile cases, like, just because the whole world is following it, they expect that it's like the movies, and they don't realize that a lot of these high profile cases take place in these small towns with very small budgets, and they don't have the resources to conduct these investigations like you would see in the movies.
Mhm.
And they don't have the experience, and they do this Barney Fife type shit, and you're looking at this going, why aren't you doing it like this person did, this agency did in this case, and this agency did in that case, and I followed this case? Because they don't, they just know their little town, and that's all they know. They get up in the morning, they put on their little uniform and their gun belt, and they go sit in an office and try to figure out who stole someone's fishing lures out of their tackle box.
Or they
And
may all be
mean,
part of this Vinlanders social club, which is an offshoot of this Odinist religion, which is very popular apparently in places like Indiana and several other states. That is like a very, it's a skinhead movement. That's what it is. And these people that were originally investigated, including one of the girls' boyfriend's dad, is a member of this Vinlander club. Look it up when you feel like falling into a rabbit hole. It's a white supremacy group, and it's very popular in prisons. The prison system in Indiana has a list of holidays that you can request off, including all of the Odinist holidays.
Wow.
Like, it's prevalent out there. People don't understand that in certain places like Indiana, and you guys can in the chat can tell me, that it is very prevalent. Like, I come from New York. I've never heard of Odinist or Norse paganism or Blot, BLOT, which is a holiday of sacrifice that comes from Norway. I mean, this stuff is like people believe it and it's real, and a lot of people don't want to believe that it's real. And the judge, who knows? They kicked the FBI off the case. People started dying. The FBI, the lead investigator, who was the FBI part of this case, was killed with a Molotov cocktail, and then
What?
by a guy who was, wait for it, a corrections officer for 20 years. Like, it's deep embedded into the prison system. These guards that were guarding Richard Allen were wearing odorous patches. And when they told him they had to take the patches off, one guy had it tattooed on his face. Okay, this is like, it's real. You don't want to believe that it's real, but it's real. One guy said to the cops, and he had the mental capacity of like a 7 or 8 year old, one of the initial suspects, that all of the recordings were lost of their interviews. Go figure, crazy, right? He said to the cops, he said, let's just say, like, if my saliva was found on one of the girls, like if I spit on one of the girls, but I could explain how my spit got there, would I be in trouble? And nobody thought to like go any further with that guy who really, really wanted to be in the Finlanders, but they didn't want to let him into their club. It's like a gang club. Like the Hells Angels is a club. So are the Finlanders. They're a club too. The white supremacists, you can look at the Anti-Defamation League website. They're on there. You can look at the like Homeland Security. They're on there as a hate group. It's real. It's real. Yeah, the rabbit hole's deep on this one, you guys. And nobody knows about it because it's not being broadcast. It's like crazy horror movie type shit.
That is crazy, dude. Jesus. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Hold on. There's a question here. Melanie and Will, do you feel there is more fuckery in our legal system recently, or has it been here? And when you see it, you can't unsee it. I think the latter. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yep.
And then someone said that they lost 70 hours of interview recordings. And one super chat showed up on my here, but not.
They did all the initial recordings from like the very beginning of the investigation, like all the main players that all happened to be part of the Vinlander social club.
Wow.
Who were quickly cleared.
Shannon Helgeson super chatted $10, but I can't highlight it. It didn't show up in my StreamYard chat. And says possible Lally stretched out the trial to confuse the jury and give the defense less time. Bev told jurors they'd be done on a certain date. Yeah, that's true. That is quite possible.
And she also, remember how wonky that court schedule was? It was like half days and these summer Fridays and happy hour Thursdays and no court tomorrow for no good reason. And, there was never a full 5-day week. This Judge Gull does court on Saturdays because the jury is sequestered in a hotel for however long it takes. They bust them in from 2 hours away.
I love that. That's great.
She's a
LR
monster.
Center says, why couldn't the jury have read back or rewatched the certain testimony if they ask? Is it a Commonwealth thing or is it a Bev thing?
It's the way we do it in Massachusetts. It's the way we do it in Massachusetts, LR Center.
Isn't that right, Miss Trianetti?
Something funny, Ms. Reed.
The judge allowed a video rewatch with the Melanie Triconis trial.
Michelle Triconis. Yeah, that was in Connecticut. That was in Connecticut, and in New York, we have readbacks constantly, and we have like amazing court reporters that they can get it quickly. Can you read back the last question and answer? Or when the jury asks and we have a read back of so and so's testimony, they read it back. Bev wanted everyone to rely on their notes, and look how well that went.
It's wild.
Massachusetts thing, no readbacks.
Right. Yeah, it is crazy not to allow a readback. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's great that Andrea did that. And I mean, so I wonder, like, well, who would be trash talking the families of Abby and Libby? Who would do that?
So
And
what
why?
happened was there was a hair, a single female hair that was found, came out at trial, wrapped around one of the girl's hands
Okay.
from the root,
Wow.
and it was never tested. The hair was never tested. So during the trial, all
What?
of a sudden, the state decided to test the hair, and they said that the hair came from Libby's, I think it's Libby's sister, Kelsey. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. And so there is a YouTuber out there who I think is starting to say that, you know, Libby's sister has something to do with it.
That's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. But they didn't
I
test the
mean,
hair.
there's 100 million reasons why any family member's hair would be on someone.
Yeah, she was wearing her hair. She was wearing the sister's sweatshirt. That's why.
Maybe
She was
right.
also in the sister's
Okay.
car.
It's right there. Yeah.
But you
There's-
know how people like look
it's
what
the
happened
same
to some
same
other
reason
missing
why
children.
John's DNA would be on the bumper of Karen's car. Like, I mean, you're gonna tell me John never put groceries in the
Mhm.
back of her car, took groceries out of the back of her car, or
Right.
come on, you know?
Yeah.
Stupid.
So I think that's what Nancy Grace was talking about. Unless she was just pissed that somebody outed her for not having sat in on much of the trial and then coming out in front of the courthouse and setting up her beer pong table in front of the courthouse and then doing her little stream where she talked about how guilty Richard Allen is.
Oh man,
Completely ignoring the fact that he was, you know, in prison for 13 months.
I
in the
wish I
hole.
had it. I wish I had it handy. Fuck. Because I know I watched it. I wish I had it handy.
Deep thoughts.
Maybe
with Jackie.
I'm gonna try one thing. I'm just not gonna
Take it
spend
away.
too much time on it, but I want to see if I can find it real quick. Just
What is it? Is it the Nancy Grace thing?
no, not Nancy Grace.
All right. Grandmaster Sid Sofa says, Melanie, can you be retried for the same crime in the USA? In the UK, you can be in certain circumstances. You cannot be retried if you are acquitted because we have double jeopardy here. The rule against double jeopardy. It's a constitutional right to not be tried twice for the same crime. Here, because there was a mistrial, they can try her again. But that's what the appeal is all about. To try and say that the jury did really acquit her on charges counts 1 and 3. Therefore, it would be double jeopardy to try her again. So just call the jury in and ask them. So no, you cannot. Oh, the Goodmans are here and they gifted a membership. Hi, Goodmans. It's a husband and wife team. And sometimes they'll get on there and send super chats and they'll be like, hi, this is Mrs. Goodman. Hi, this is Mr. Goodman. They're very funny.
They must have deleted it. Or maybe not.
Where's Cherry? Danny wants to know. I mean, it's
Oh,
her
I
birthday.
don't-
Maybe she took off.
I don't know.
Isn't it her birthday? Every time?
Yeah, it's always a birthday. Shit.
I love Cherry. Cherry does a really excellent job. She's
She
a super
does.
mod. She's a super mod.
She is. She's incredible. I can't yeah, I couldn't find it. I was trying to find the clip where where Susan Constantine got kicked out of Sarah Boone
Oh
court.
my God, that was the best. Yeah, I sent that to you, right? Yeah,
I think did you send it to me?
I did. Remember I
Okay,
said
hold-
start at
I know you
this?
told okay.
Because
hold
I
on.
remember when it happened and then I found out that it was her and then I remembered that you said that she dissed you on your own show and I was like, oh, you're gonna love this. Guess who was kicked out of court today because her phone went off during the Sarah Boone trial. And boy, the judge snapped at her. That was fantastic. And then like
Yeah,
she was I forget
here we
whose
go.
show she was going on every night, like Surviving the Survivor or something. And I wonder if they addressed it on the show.
I got it. Here we go.
Again.
Out. Whoever phone is on, get out right now.
Again.
And had it exhausted every
Again.
out. Whoever phone is on, get out right now.
Oh, he's not playing. That is really bad. That's in poor form.
Oh my god, dude.
This is the judge who would stop court to say "bless you" every time someone sneezed. So you can imagine, like a phone go up in his courtroom. Oh no! Oh, Judge Kranick was not having it, and that was her.
I
And
wonder.
she had to do the walk of shame right out of that courthouse or the
I
courtroom.
wonder what the judge's body language told her when he said, "Ow."
Did she analyze his body language?
Was he lying when he kicked her out?
She had to go out and watch it on YouTube so that she could do her appearance that evening and report on the body language and pretend it wasn't her who did the walk of shame out of there. It was tell everyone who it was Susan Constantine, the body language expert who came on your show. And I don't remember what she did.
She was fine on the show. I mean, to be fair, she was fine on the show, and I actually enjoyed the show. I mean, I mean, I found it fascinating what she was talking about. I mean, I told half the truth because the truth is that I find it fascinating because I know it's bullshit. So I wanted to hear her explain.
You don't believe in body language?
Oh, Jesus. Come on, man. Like,
is that why you don't understand women?
I mean, there's body language that any asshole can point out, you know what I mean? But just because someone does this when they're talking doesn't mean that they're guilty of something. Just because someone licks their lips doesn't mean, I mean, if you know that person and you spent time and you lived with that person and you know, okay, that person when they're lying, they lick their lips. I know that person. That makes sense. I get that. But just to generally like see some stranger sitting on a stand, you're full of shit, lady. You're gonna sit here and be like, oh, well, I mean, I could tell the McAlberts are lying because they're lying. You know what I'm saying? But just because Jennifer McCabe, you know, has fucking meth jaw, it doesn't mean, you know what I mean? Like, it's just ridiculous it just ridiculous that. So I mean, I entertained it because it was set up by Nick Rocco, and there was it
was during the Karen Reed trial that she came on.
And it was a fundraiser for Karen's defense, and she's a high profile lady, you know. So I was like, cool, great, you know. But I do my own shit the way that I do it. And then she I guess went back and watched it and saw that my intro, one of my intros, and didn't like it and said it was bad for her brand. It wasn't indicative to her brand.
Yes.
You know, the great and incredible Susan Constantine, the body language expert. And so,
did you mock her while she was on your show? No,
I didn't. I was absolutely
were you eye rolling?
No, I was respectful as fuck. And I did take interest in it, you know, but I wasn't going to be rude to her because she took the time to agree to be on the show, and it was a fundraiser for Karen. So it was cool. You know what I mean? So I had no reason to be mean to her, but it was her who just ended up insulting me later on because, you know, for some reason she didn't vet my show, but after she does the show, I'm not a good enough show for her to be on. You know what I'm saying? So
how many subs does she have on her channel?
I don't know.
She doesn't have a channel, does she?
I mean, but she has, I mean, she's an author. She writes books and shit. You know what I mean? She's a successful lady. I'm not trashing her for that.
Better than you. Doesn't make her better than you.
I mean, no, it doesn't. Like, I'm not beating myself up in any way, shape, or form. I'm saying fuck that lady.
Her brand.
I'm saying fuck that lady.
Well, maybe she should have done her due diligence before she decided to agree to come on your show.
That's what I'm saying. You know, all of a sudden she's mad, and then, you know, and then I'm asked to edit the part out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to edit my intro out. And I was like, no. And then I did a live stream addressing it, and I made it clear. I was like, okay, well, if the problem is that she doesn't want to be associated with my channel, well, then I'll do a live and make it very clear that Susan Constantine does not approve of my methods on this show, and she does not want to be connected with her name to my name. So make sure nobody does that. Okay, the great Susan Constantine does not want to be, you know, stuck with the glare mud all over her shoes. So, so I made that, very clear.
You get a
So
big red rubber stamp,
what
and
I-
you could just
what I-
put
what I'm
a
not gonna
stamp.
do, what I'm not gonna
Not
do is
Susan
change my shit because for some reason it's not good enough for a guest. Because as much as it was nice of her to do my show, it was nice of me to have her on. So
Damn right. Know your worth, man.
right.
Right?
So I mean, this was an audience of potential book buyers,
Mhm.
for her. So
Right.
um, if she wanted to be an asshole about it, that's on her.
Yep. Not Susan Constantine approved. You should put that as like an endorsement to your channel.
And so
Wear it like a badge of honor.
and you don't have enough fucking sense to turn off your cell phone when you go sit in a courtroom. Are you kidding? Like, dude, I even did that sitting in Turtle Boy's hearing, and we were like kids. Like, we were like hyper kids, like joking around, like giggling and shit. Me, Meredith, Jen Altman, like we were all, fucking Reddington comes up and dicks around with me for a minute. You know what I mean? Like we acted like kids, and we still had enough sense to turn off our fucking phones. Like, lady,
It's like 101, really?
seriously. Yeah. And can't be on the and what my husband was furious when he saw the intro and blah 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 blah.
Did she say that to you or tell somebody to tell you
Yeah,
that?
she said that to somebody and they sent me the screenshots, and I was like, fuck that lady.
Karma knows her address too. If you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I mean, I guess if you want to call that karma, I just think it's fucking funny.
Hilarious. She's supposed she should
Right.
know better.
Calamity Jade saying here that get out now, hit like Mike Tyson said. I think you need to go now. Yeah, get the fuck out with your cell phone. Like, he didn't give a shit who she was. He was just like, whoever's cell phone, get the fuck out. Like, I'm trying to give jury instructions, lady.
Yeah.
This is being
And it was in the morning
televised.
too. It was like first thing in the morning, so she had to get out for the whole day.
This is being broadcast all over the world.
I don't think she was ever coming back.
What are you doing? Yeah. Now, guess what, Susan Constantine?
Somebody said her pager song was "Oh Black Betty, Oh Black Betty, Bam Lamb."
I'm just saying, Susan Constantine, it's bad for my brand to have somebody on my show who doesn't have enough sense and respect for a courtroom to turn their cell phone off. I'm sorry, Susan Constantine, but I can never invite you on again. It's been real, but I'm sorry. It's bad for my brand, Susan. No hard feelings.
Susan and not Michael Phelps would make a great couple.
Oh my God. Yeah. We didn't even talk about that. Did you listen to the Michael Phelps podcast?
I couldn't bear it. I listened to the first
didn't.
episode. I skipped the second one because I heard the third one was horrible. Then I tried to and I couldn't get through it. So tell me, what did I miss?
I didn't listen to it either, but I listened to a lot of Turtle Boys live last night. Turtle Boy going over it was fucking gold. Like, because I mean, you listen to the guy and he's just so dramatic. And it's just really funny to hear. Like the dynamic that I was laughing about so hysterically last night watching it on Turtle Boy's channel was Turtle Boy just sitting there like this the whole time, like, Jesus, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like just and Phelps and listening to Phelps and he's so dramatic in the way that he delivers misinformation. So he's so dramatic, his voice is so dramatic, and he's just dead wrong about everything, and you're just like, so it's just hilarious. And listening to Turtle Boy tear it apart, you know, it was just really, really funny. And what's funny is the irony of it is Turtle Boy's manager set it up, and him and the Phelps guy have the same manager. So this was something that they were, this was like a joint effort to do this thing, but Phelps just shit the bed and decided to spread all this information, which in the end of the day is bad for Turtle Boy. Like, that's bad management. So Turtle Boy was talking last night about probably making some management changes, making some changes in management. You know, and rightfully so. Like, I mean, that's bad. If Turtle Boy's whole fucking thing right now is proving that, like, if he's getting all this publicity by proving that Karen Reed is innocent, and then this guy's gonna do a podcast, record a podcast that discredits Turtle Boy, and spins a narrative that the McAlberts are innocent victims and that Karen Reed is guilty of this crime. Well,
bad for his
that's
brand.
bad. Yeah, that's bad for Turtle Boy's manager.
But here's the thing, that manager has a little bit of a conflict of interest there.
Right.
When you're putting together two of your clients with completely competing interests, number one. Number two, you're double dipping on commission because now you're getting commission from both of them because of the deal that you brokered, which is not in the best interests of one of your clients. If you knew the direction in which this podcast, I don't know, if there's a lot of problems there. And I remember watching when he had that guy on his show for the first time. I started watching Turtle Boy's show, and he had this guy on, and he's, you know, Turtle Boy likes to, I guess, see like the best in everyone or something, and, you know, thought it would turn out differently. And I remember just watching this guy thinking, I don't think this guy is who Aiden thinks he is, but, you know, we'll give it a chance, right? I
mean,
sucks to be.
I don't want to speak for Turtle Boy, but I feel like his intention was, okay, well, this is just more somebody that I could work with who's got their own platform, and we could spread this information more, you know, and it helps promote me and my brand, of course. But the thing is what's brilliant about what Turtle Boy did, like, this is another thing that's so unorthodox and so strange about this case. Another little spin-off, a moon on the planet, if you will, another moon to this planet is Turtle Boy. Since he gets money for them downloading the podcast, he was promoting everyone to download it. He's saying download it, just don't fucking listen to it because it's absolute bullshit. This guy totally shit the bed, and I'm going to talk to my manager because we got words. But I get money for this shit, so fucking download it. So, and people will still download it, you know, people will still do it, you know what I mean? And I mean, of course, I joked and I was like, yeah, I don't like you that much, dude. Like, I'm not downloading that shit.
Downloading that. I mean, I don't have enough storage to download one more thing. I'll just listen to it. Yeah, it's not good for his brand.
No.
Turtle Boy's brand.
So crazy. Like, it's so crazy. I've never seen someone sit there and promote something by tearing it the fuck apart. Like, he destroyed it. And it was hilarious. It was fun to listen to. Like that.
Wow.
The Phelps dude is something else.
What happened to, weren't you going to do like some kind of telethon type fundraiser like a couple of weeks ago, and we were going to do like a 12-hour stream?
I just never, because I'm trying to get people involved in it, and it's hard to lock everyone down for it. And it's just a question of getting to a point to where I'm just going to be like, you know, fuck
someone
it,
else do it.
No, just do it and then see, like, you know, if anybody wants to join.
Yeah, you can't plan things far in advance like that and get commitments. You're just gonna have to be like, we're doing it tomorrow, whoever can come.
That's how it's probably gonna have to be,
which is always the way that we do it,
right? And now and yeah, Will is lazy, that's true. But now the Well, yeah, Scott, don't give the number out because I'm not opening the phone lines, buddy. But thank you. That's very proactive. Um, uh, but I, um, fucking Runkle showed me up, man, and Runkle did a 24-hour
I
stream,
know, I
dude.
saw that. That was for charity. I did watch a piece of it,
Yeah.
and
So
people were bidding on stuff. Like they had stuff that people were bidding hundreds of dollars on. Like there was a piece of jewelry on there that somebody's wife made, and it went for like $450. People were bidding serious money on these auction items. I don't know how much he raised, but I think it was a lot. It was a lot.
yeah,
He
I
looked
mean,
tired. They were playing video
so
games part of the
so
time. Like I
now
didn't
I'm
even know
thinking
I was tuning in. I'm like, I don't even know what what are they doing? What are these video games they're doing? I have no idea.
I got to do 24 hours and I got to figure out how to hook up my video game, my PS4 to this and do it. I don't know how
They
to
raised
do
a
it,
half a
bro.
million dollars. Somebody said 500K. Oh,
Um,
I thought the necklace went for 450. Hoag's wife's necklace, unless she had two. Over 80. Somebody said over 80K. I think that's what it sounded like.
and then my gym like is closed. I walked 2 miles to go to the gym today, all stoked, and it's closed. And there's just a sign. It's a 24-hour gym, and there's a sign on the window, and all the lights were off, and it said closed until further notice, and that's all it said.
Until
And
further notice, like no, like
right.
sorry, everyone called in sick today. We'll be open tomorrow.
And I am borderline in a panic right now because I'm in the middle of nowhere and there's no other gyms in the area.
All right, let's
Um,
breathe.
so I'm freaking out because
Breathe.
this is yeah. Um, so I'll probably be going live a lot more.
Because the gym is closed
Yeah.
and you have to keep your mind busy.
But hopefully, I mean, the customer service line, that there's nobody available to answer whatever's going on. So I'm going to call first thing in the morning and find out what's going on. Hopefully, it's just something that they need to fix, first thing tomorrow, and it'll be open later on in the day. Hopefully, I really hope. But yeah, yeah, I'm
Maybe they had a
freaking out.
flood in their basement. They had to jackhammer up their floor down there,
I don't know, but
no, hopefully it opens soon because otherwise you're going to be, maybe tomorrow would be a good idea for the fundraiser. Can we get some auction items? Because that's a great idea, actually, to get some auction items that people can bid on in the chat. The fundraiser that we're planning.
maybe.
I don't even
I
think now.
mean,
We need to
if I could,
distract Will back into
if I
reality.
if I can avoid like physical prizes and having to send things, then I will. But
Oh yeah, no, I mean we could. I know, I see what you're saying. Like somebody's got to
yeah,
go to the post office and stuff. Yeah,
fuck all that, yeah. But
yeah.
I could, I mean, but we can, have special guests, and like there's these 2 guys that I'm trying to get. That one of them travels a lot, and so it's hard to lock him down. And so hopefully I'll get in touch with them tomorrow, because supposedly the guy came back tonight from out of town, and then said anytime after today would be good. So hopefully I'll get in touch with them tomorrow and try to lock something down with them. And then yeah, and they're like, it's gonna be funny because these guys, it's crazy. These guys are my favorite channel. Like seriously, they're just really funny guys. And
Are the guys you did the movie stream with?
yeah,
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 they're
yeah,
very
yeah. They're
they're very
great.
funny. I'm surprised that they don't have more.
And they're organized, like
Yeah, like
everything that
they're on
they
top of
do
it.
is right. They're super organized. They're great. And so they want to come on to my channel and talk about the Karen Reed case. Because they're like, yeah, we thought it'd be a
How is
cool
it?
idea. And I was like, yeah, this case would be perfect, because I'd love to just give you guys the rundown for it, with my chat watching, because I learned of the case that same way. And so if I'm talking to you guys, like, and they get to see you react to every
Mhm.
aspect of this case that is so fucked up. They'll love it. And they're just great guys. They're really entertaining. So I know that the conversation itself will be entertaining in and of itself. It'll be so much fun. It's just a matter of being able to lock it down. And they're just funny. Like I'm their like their their white person spokesperson for their so we're talking about like we were
The white
talking.
person spokesperson. You're
Yeah,
representative of the entire white race.
I absolutely represent the
The
white
white
race on my
man.
channel. Yeah. We had we even did a racial draft where I represented white people on their channel. It was really fun.
Well, I hope you did a good job.
I did.
That's like the
I
heavy
did. I was
burden.
quite
That's a
proud
heavy
of it.
burden for a man.
It is. It's a major heavy burden, but
I mean,
it was good. It was good. So yeah, I look forward to that and reviewing like exploitation horror movies with them was so fun.
look at Petty
Um
Paralegal's comment.
the weed dispensary literally texts me if they're closing early. The gym should have called. Right.
Jim should have
Yeah,
called.
I
How
agreed.
dare they?
No, they should have sent. Yeah, they should have sent an email or something.
Text.
Like a mass
Text.
email. They should have done that. A mass text or a mass email to all the customers. They should have done that. Absolutely. Amber Dawn says, I also think Phelps is jealous of Turtle Boy and his success. Yeah, Phelps been trying to be famous for a while now. Same manager. He couldn't wait to get with McAlbert's. I mean, yeah, that's possible. But yeah, he definitely seemed like motivated by something other than the truth. And
I don't know why
jealousy
everybody has
would
to be jealous and be so competitive. Like, why can't we all just help
so
each other
weird.
succeed? I get happy when my friends I want my friends to
Right.
succeed. Why is there all of this jealous competition? Like, I'm not going to take your viewers away. You're not going to take my viewers away. We come together, we make a thing.
Right.
We enjoy people's company, and I'm happy when you do well. I'm happy when other creators do well. I promote other creators all the time. I send people to other channels. Like, it's not a
Right.
competition, folks.
It's really it really says a lot about people who feel that way because they act like YouTube is just this very condensed and flooded industry, and it's really
Yeah.
not. Like that's the thing. It's social media. It's
Mhm.
and literally anybody can just do what they do on their channel,
Right.
and it's not because of anybody else that you're not growing.
Right.
People watch you because they like you, not
Mhm.
because they don't like somebody else.
Right.
So if you're thinking on those terms, you're never going to grow and you're never going to be successful. And you might grow, but you're going to stay stagnant, that's just the wrong attitude to have. It's much more fulfilling to just promote everyone,
Right.
like Melanie and I, we have good live streams together. We have a great dynamic speaking and conversing, but like our channels are extremely different. Like
Yeah.
extremely different. There is no competition here. People go to you because they want legal insight. People go to me because they just want to hear my insight. They want to hear your insight, and there's a legal perspective to it as well. And I'm just a guy who's passionate, and they relate to me because I have the passion that they have, and that's it. And
But together,
that's
we're the Benson and
right.
Stabler of YouTube.
Totally. And it's great. It's great, but there's nobody, we're not sitting here trying to feed off of like, oh, well, what's Melanie doing? Can I do that and do it better? Can I
Yeah.
do this and do it better? No, like that's just silly.
Or, oh, I see she's got something scheduled for 3. I'm going to schedule the same exact thing, but I'm going to do it an hour before. The stream jumpers, you know who they are.
It's just so
I have a rage
stupid.
crochet club. I do. I have a rage crochet club in my chat, and they rage crochet during trials, and they send me lovely pictures of the things that they crochet, and it's quite lovely.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, people like you because they like you. That's people watch you
No,
because they
I
like
like
you.
you
People,
too.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Is people watch me because they like my channel. That's it. There's no other reason. No other reason. Has nothing to do with any other creators. Nothing. So I don't understand where the competition comes from, and the jealousy, and like it's the same with podcasts, I assume. You know what I mean? I'm sure people kind of want that number one spot. Sure, that's cool.
It's like a
But
whole different world that I don't know anything about.
everyone has their own style. Like nobody is going, that's my podcast, not anyone else's. I'm sure there's one or two people that are like, that's the only podcast I listen to. Okay, well, that's just because that's the only podcast they listen to. It's not because there's some rule that says you can only listen to one podcast. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like there's people who listen to me, people who listen to you, people who listen to Turtle Boy, people who listen to LTL, people who listen to all kinds of different, because they like what that particular creator brings to the table, and that's it. No
Mhm.
other reason. So
Right.
it's just silly to.
But like podcasts, I don't know. I guess I just never really got into podcasts because there's no video. It's just audio only. I mean, so I don't really like do the whole podcast. Like this is a podcast, but we just also have video with it.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean,
maybe
yeah.
podcasts are more like a series, or like Call Her Daddy. Like I listen to her sometimes. Like when she had John Mayer on, I listened to it. And then she had
Well-
some wacky stuff. She's funny. She's got some good guests on sometimes, but like I'm not really like a pod. If I'm gonna put on Spotify, I'm listening to music.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's very few podcasts that I listen to. And
Oh, did you just hit
yeah,
40K while we're
no,
here?
that happened Friday.
Congratulations.
That happened Friday.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay, 40K. Looks good on you.
And then Lelo Me says you were both easy on everyone's eyes.
Oh, you're
Perk.
very sweet. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Sharon McCarthy says rising tides lift all ships.
That's right.
Yes. Right. I mean, that's like I want to see everybody do well.
Mhm. Right. And plus there's interaction here. So yeah, we're interacting with people. Like I don't do videos because I hate editing, and it's easier to go on to a live stream and you're done in however many hours. Doing a video, like a pre-planned video, and then editing it takes like all day or more. It could take forever.
Yeah, I mean, those are organized, like in that sense. I mean, I seriously like just coming up here and I like the excitement of not knowing what we're gonna talk about, and then just
Yeah.
So to me, it's a very natural conversation. People seem to enjoy it, and I'm grateful for that. Jam Cracker, thank you. Love
Oh,
you both.
thanks.
Thanks for tonight.
Yeah, Brandy Churchwell does have a good podcast. You are right about that.
Right. Brandy Churchwell does. I listened to podcasts at first. There was a podcast I used to listen to all the time. I just haven't listened to podcasts in a long time. But the only podcasts I really listened to were True Crime Garage. And then I listened to one about a series about the Exorcist production. That's really crazy. It's like that's crazy, the stuff that happened in that production of that movie. And I listened to Henry Rollins podcast, and Henry Rollins podcast is great because he just tells old stories about like when he was in Rollins band and Black Flag, and meeting different musicians and interacting and collaborating, things like that. And he's funny because like he just records a podcast whenever he just feels like recording a podcast. He doesn't have any type of commitment to it at all. But I love that about him. He's very fly by the seat of his pants kind of guy. The Goodmans, thank you so much. Congrats on 40K.
Yay.
It's awesome.
What was
Thank
that? There
you.
was a series, and now I can't think of it. That was so good. It was about the making of the Godfather movie with
Yeah.
Miles Teller. It was
I
such
watched
a great series.
I
Now I
I
gotta look it up.
watched that. Yeah, I watched that. It was on
Highly
Paramount.
recommend.
Yeah.
Miles Teller is a huge Deadhead, and he's at Dead shows all the time. It was
Is he really?
called.
He looks just like my friend Jeff, who's actually the singer for a band called Poison the Well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he looks a lot like him.
It was called The Offer. That's what it was called.
The Offer, yeah. It's a good movie. I like Miles Teller. I liked Whiplash a lot. That was a really good movie.
Yeah, The Offer. Mary says, "Yep, that was really good." Juno Temple was in that too. She's in a lot of stuff. She's so different in everything she plays. Did you freeze?
No.
Are you still there? Come on, you guys, distract him from the fact that his gym is closed for no apparent reason.
Oh yeah, my brain is gonna be scrambled eggs
I know.
until I get to do that. It totally is.
There come the cricket.
Disclaimer.
All right. Is it time for bed now? Should we
No,
should I let you go?
I'm looking at the chat. I mean, I'm just looking at the chat.
Juno in Ted Lasso is one of my favorite characters of all time, says Mary. She's so incredible. She's like a Julia Garner who's so different in everything. Like from Ozark to whatever she's in, she's like a chameleon.
Yeah, she's a really good actress,
Yeah.
Julia Garner. Did I see your $9.99 super chat? My thoughts on SC. What's SC?
I don't know.
Let me see. I'm looking at all the super chats. I don't think it went through.
Like the Supreme Court? Oh, here it is.
Oh,
Here it is. I see it.
yeah, I see it. Y'all feel like McAlbert's linked with Phelps, using him as a potential moving party against Turtle Boy. Turtle Boy always says, "Why hasn't McAlbert sued me for slander yet?" Skeletons to get Phelps Patsy to sue Turtle Boy for speech. I don't know. I mean, that's some deep shit. I don't know.
In order to prove a slander case, right?
Right.
They would have to prove that what Turtle Boy is saying about them is not true. Because truth is a complete defense to slander. So if it turns out that what he's been saying about them is true, there's no case for slander. Plus, it opens the floodgates to depositions and all of these other things in a civil case.
Right. Dewey says, Mel, classy Will, sense of humor reminds me of my brothers. You both have contagious laughs. Also, love joining shows in a cupcake invasion. Yes, I love that. Yes, thank
Here,
you
we
for
missed
that.
Sue's super chat, which is right above Amber Dawn's super chat. In the starred ones there about the mutual manager is also an attorney. Need your insight on this, Melanie. A lot of managers are attorneys. So I don't know. I don't practice law in Massachusetts, so I wouldn't be able to help him with that. But he could certainly ask Bradel and or Betterow for a referral to an attorney, if that's what you mean. But many managers are attorneys. Very common. Because that way your clients don't have to go outside the house to get their contracts reviewed, because you as an attorney also negotiate them, review the contracts, negotiate, and then you also get a piece.
Be so scared, man. Like, I'd be so scared of some manager ripping me off. Jesus.
Well, it's better if you collect your money and then you pay them instead of them collecting your money and then expecting them to pay you.
Thank you, Action Benz. Have either of you listened to the Prosecutors podcast? They seem to not have really read up on the Karen Reed case, and the male host especially came off as very smug. No,
Is it on YouTube?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds like it's a podcast.
Oh,
Um,
some of them also have video. Let's see. Prosecutor's podcast. Yeah, it's on here. Let's see.
okay.
I don't know. Somebody named Alice and Brett. I don't know who they are. And I don't know if they're on camera, but they're on YouTube and they've got 25,000 subs. But I have never. Have you?
No.
It's too hard. It's hard enough to do our own shows. It's hard to watch other people's shows. I mean, right?
I mean, yeah, like usually like if I join a chat for a live stream, I'm never in there for the whole time.
Right.
And it's just because it's just the way that I am. My attention span just doesn't allow me to do it. Like
Right.
uh, it takes me to watch a movie these days. It takes me 2 days to watch a movie
I
because
know.
I'll pause it like out of nowhere. I'll just decide that to pause it, and then I'll end up arguing with somebody on Twitter, and then I'll or I'll pause it
Silent
because
affair.
I'll pause it because I want to play Grand Theft Auto 5 for a while, and then I'll so it just so I'm barely ever in anybody's chats for too long, just because I just don't have the attention span.
Twitter's a time suck.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's social media. Like, yeah, I'll get an alert on my phone, and then it'll be some shit on Instagram, and then I'll just go down an Instagram rabbit hole, start watching
Mhm.
Instagram videos and adding to my story, and
Started watching
um,
cooking videos that are coming up on my YouTube feed, and there's this one dude who makes like every New York deli recipe. And if you know New York delis, you know that New York delis have the best potato salad, the best coleslaw, the best tuna salad, the best, and he shows you how to make it, like because he worked at like 5 New York delis. I love that guy. And I mean, that's like good stuff because it's evergreen content, you know? That's like the kind of stuff you can get millions of views on because it's always relevant. Somebody's always going to be looking for, cake recipes and stuff. The stuff we do is time sensitive. Doesn't necessarily get
right.
replays
Yeah,
5 years from now, you know?
no, it doesn't. Like,
It's not evergreen.
I haven't checked this in a while, but let me see real quick. Um,
Yeah, New York City delis do have the best corned beef, Scott. I don't know if he's got a corned beef video. That would be interesting. Yeah, Truth Revealed is great. I like him, Sergio.
that's so funny. So I did a Barefoot Bandit stream 4 years ago, um, and it only had 1,000 views. And then I don't want to call it an interview, but um, I did I had a conversation. This is the wrong one though. Um, but I'm trying to find where. God, it would take me forever to actually find the why is it taking that long?
Thomas says Barefoot Bandit is such an amazing story. I don't even know what it is.
Um, he's a guy. I did this. Let's see. I'm gonna have to go way, way back here. Oh, that would take forever. Jesus Christ. I have over 1,000 videos. Um, but I'm trying to see because it's so funny that I got 1,000 views on that, and then shortly after that, I actually got the guy on my channel. Oh, that's why, because it's set to members only. And let's see, how many views did I get on this thing? Oh, I can't even see it now because it's on members only.
You're not a member. That's so weird how you can't watch your own members
Yeah.
only content.
No, I can, but it's yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to reset it. But I'm curious as to how many views I got on it because I got like it was an insane amount of views just on that. Versus like I just did a stream on him and it only got 1,000 views, but that has like tens of thousands of views of some like, and I can't remember exactly how much, but it was an insane amount for my channel anyway, simply because he didn't do he didn't do interviews ever.
And he did one with you?
Yeah, I contacted him through his YouTube channel because he would just post videos of airplanes. And yeah, it was insane. And he would never do interviews. And then we just ended up he ended up contacting me through my email. And then we ended up just talking. And then he agreed to do like, look at this. Look at how long ago this was. This is from my fucking bedroom. Oh, get out of here.
Why do you have it? Maybe you should set it to public so that people can find it.
Yeah, I should.
I think that's.
I just don't have a lot of perks for my members, so I figured like this was really special content that at least the members could have access to that nobody else could. Plus, this guy, like I said, he's very reserved, so it's not like I'm, he would almost prefer it that I set it to members only. You know what I mean?
You mentioned something that.
But look at
tragedy.
Look at the
I
lighting.
recognize that. I was in prison for 6 years, and I saw the tragedy. I know the tragedy.
Look at the lighting. I'm in a bedroom.
How long ago was it?
4 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
You've come a long way, baby.
Yeah. I must have had shit. I think I had maybe 2,000 subs at the time. Yeah, crazy. And yeah, this dude, this is a dude who he stole 5 airplanes. He never took a flying lesson in his life, and he did this all before the age of 19. And eluded the FBI. The FBI couldn't catch him. And then he flew a plane from Indiana or something. He was a fugitive in the state of Washington, and then he ended up in the Bahamas. And then he he ended up in the Bahamas, and then somebody recognized him, and then turned him in. But yeah.
And then he went to jail?
And then he went to jail.
Yeah, somebody said it's like a real life Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's the thing is he was like, I met Frank Abagnale once, and he was like, I wasn't impressed. He was a really interesting guest because he likes to talk. He talks a lot. But he's really brilliant. He's like really fascinated with money. Like he's really fascinated with finance and the economy and things like that. And he like for that 3-hour stream, he went on and on and on about it. And talked a lot about airplanes too. A lot about airplanes. He's, like I said, he's just a very brilliant guy, but also just different, a different guy. But he um but he doesn't like to be compared to, Frank Abagnale, the whole catch me if you can guy. He's compared to that because he was able to outsmart and elude the cops, just simply because he was willing to do things that most people are not willing to do, which was like live out in the woods, um, hide out in trees. Like somehow he was always just one step ahead of the FBI somehow, like to the point where like he took pictures and posted himself on Facebook just to taunt them, like I'm
That's
still out
funny.
here. Yeah, because he was just a kid, and as an adult he looks at it now and just like, Jesus, what a dumb kid I was. And
Oh, I got
he's like,
gifted a membership to your channel the other day, so now I can go watch it.
oh yeah, no, I'll probably take it off of membership just to,
I mean,
but
probably a good idea
um
because
but
that is
yeah, it's
evergreen.
but yeah, he's a really, really good dude, and he's really private. He just vanished. I have no way of getting a hold of him now.
Oh,
I tried his old number, doesn't work. I tried his email. That email no longer exists. His YouTube channel is gone.
hmm.
He's off the grid all over again. And I
Oh,
don't know
is
what
he on the
he's.
run?
No. He's totally legit. What I want to see happen is that he's able to fly legally.
Oh,
That's what I would love to do. If I ever get that kind of success on this channel, I'm going to dedicate like a lot of energy towards trying to get Colton to be able to legally fly again.
Hmm.
Because it's something that he truly has a passion for. I mean, the guy was just funny talking to him. He's like, I remember asking him, like, dude, you crash landed like every single plane you stole. It was like you figure out how to fly these planes, but like, why can't you land a plane? and he, of course, is so smug. He was just like, man, I know how to land a plane. I can land a plane, but he made a really, really good point. He's like, dude, I can't just like, pull up to a runway. I'm a fugitive. I'm a federal fugitive. I can't just
yeah, probably not
fly
smart.
into a runway and land the plane. I have to find like a field or something and basically crash land it. And so, I mean, the fact that I walked away from every single one should tell you that I knew exactly what I was doing. And I was like, that's a great point. It's a great point. But yeah. I would love to have him on this channel again. Because
You got to find him first.
a lot of the stuff that he was talking about that he predicted that would happen in the world is happening right now, which is funny. This is all pre-COVID. This stuff, like I said, 4 years ago.
Pilots were impressed how he crash landed so dumb.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. He's friends with like all the FBI agents that chased him and everything now. And they were gonna make a
Sounds like a
movie
TV
about
show.
him. Yeah, no, they were gonna make a movie about him. He sold the rights to his story. He negotiated, he hired an entertainment lawyer and everything while he was in jail, while he was in prison, and negotiated I think it was like $3 million for his story, which is like one of the highest amounts of money that anybody's ever gotten just for selling their story to a movie company. And he sold it to Fox, to 20th Century Fox, and the screenwriter who wrote Milk and won an Oscar for that. He was going to write the screenplay, and he met up with him and hung out with him and everything, and he was going to write the screenplay. And Robert Zemeckis was signed on to direct it, but it never happened. So, and he was like, I hope they never make that movie. He's like, I don't.
Did they give him an advance? Did they give him an advance?
Well,
the $3
no,
million
yeah.
as an advance?
Well, he negotiated it so that he could pay back his victims. Like he's
Oh.
totally ashamed of what he did. You know, he's not proud of it. He feels like that's just bullshit, dumb shit that I did as a kid. Whereas people look at it like, you know, and they praise him and think that he's some sort of Robin Hood or something, you know, and he's like, no, that's dumb, stupid shit that I did as a kid that I wish I'd never done, you know. And you know, he stole property from people, you know what I mean? He broke into their houses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's not proud of that.
Right.
So you know, but and the thing is like I said, he's brilliant. This is a guy who can fly planes. He knows everything about an airplane that you could possibly want to know. And as far as like when you talk about money, he knows exactly what he's talking about. He's incredibly brilliant with it. So it's like what he's trying to do, he looks up to a lot of these, like Jordan Peterson and a lot of these types of guys. He looks up to those types of guys, and I think what he's trying to do is just like really like get involved with managing money. But he's just trying to do it off the radar and trying to shake the persona of the barefoot bandit. And just be taken seriously for who he is now and what he has to offer the world now. And I hope it happens. I hope he does that.
That's cool. Speaking of ex-cons, you know who'd be a great guest that I should try and get on my channel is another Long Island guy. Well, he's not a Long Island guy, but Jordan Belfort. He's around. In fact, some of the guys that I went to high school with wound up working with Jordan Belfort and got like all caught up in that. You guys know who Jordan Belfort is?
Yeah.
The real life Wolf of Wall Street.
Wall Street, yeah.
I'm sure maybe he'd like to come and do a little interview.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That would be fun. I'd love to talk to that guy.
Yeah. I think he's like an inspirational speaker now or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Supposedly.
Yeah.
I mean,
I doubt right?
I doubt that Wolf of Wall Street is real accurate. Scorsese movies are always great, but they're not very accurate to the stories that he's, you know, they're pretty dramatized for.
That'd be a great question for him.
You know who has a YouTube channel is Sammy the Bull.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He has a lot of subs too.
Sammy the Bull Gravano. Wow.
Yeah.
That would be a cool collab.
Let me see. Yeah, he has. Look, this guy's. He has.
Já jsem říkal, Franto, ty děláš takový
619 subs. 619,000
na pódium
subs.
holili dvě úplně nahatý ženský.
It's like that.
I don't know what that is, but yeah, he chimes in on all this stuff. Like, look at this. He talks all this mob stuff.
Oh my God. And he has a lot. Wow.
At his first Trump rally, he goes to a Trump rally here. Look at 331,000 views on that.
What is his most recent? Oh, that was 2 days ago.
Yeah, that was he went to the Trump rally, and he went to the Trump rally in New York and the Madison
Square Garden. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Somebody from NBC came over, recognized me, started talking to me a little bit. Now they want to do an interview with me. He asked about my T-shirt. I had a Trump T-shirt on with me and Trump, two convicted felons. I made a joke out of it a little bit. Him for the president, me for the vice president. You're on the ticket? I want to be on the ticket. We talked a little while. People were...
I mean, that's wild, right? Like that
he's 79 years old.
I mean, and he's got a YouTube channel and he's doing really well at it.
Wow, good for him.
Yeah, that's what I say. Good for him.
He was a rat.
He
was a rat, but he did his time.
And he did his time, and he's still walking around, and he's got a YouTube channel. He was
in witness protection for quite some time.
It is so wild. What a crazy world we live in.
Yep.
Yeah. The
But
crazy
he brought
world we
down the
live in.
Gambino crime family.
And he's showing up to Trump rallies, getting interviewed by TV like it's all good.
Yep.
It's amazing.
He brought down John Gotti. When I was my oldest son was in kindergarten, John Gotti Jr.'s kids went to the same school. So there was Gotti, and then there was like Victoria and John Gotti Jr. were the children of John Gotti, the boss. And John Gotti Jr.'s kid's name was right there on the kindergarten playlist, you know, like call up for a play date. You guys want to come over? It's crazy. And then he went away too, I think. Gotti Jr. for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's cool that he was a rat. You know what I
No, I'm
mean?
not saying that.
Like,
I'm glad that he was able to succeed at in his YouTube channel, though.
but I mean,
People are asking in the chat who's
you gotta
Sammy the
give
Bull.
the
They
guy
didn't know.
credit. You
They
gotta
didn't know who
give
he
the guy
was, so I was
credit
just saying
for-
who he was, you know, from the
Right.
Wikipedia version.
And you got to give the guy credit for surviving. I
Mhm.
mean, and being where he's at right now, considering, like that's it's amazing. Like
Victoria Gotti was on Housewives. That's right. That show, Growing Up Gotti. Yep.
unheard of. That this dude is an
Yeah.
80-year-old fucking mob snitch who brought down the Gambino crime family, and now he's just like walking around like it's all
Making
good.
YouTube videos.
Yeah,
For Trump rallies.
it's
Taking
wild.
pictures with people.
Just a wild world we're living in today, man.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's crazy stuff. You know, this extra hour is catching up with me right now.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to sign off and say goodnight.
Yeah,
Because
it's
I'm
about
like
that
doing the
time.
math. I'm like, okay, it's 11:46, but it's really 12:46. Like, how long do you do that math in your head for? Like for the first week? So it's 11:46, but it's really 12:46. But it's only 11:40. It was really
I
funny
went-
because I was looking at my phone last night when it was 1:00, and then it turned 1:01, and then it went back to 1:00. I'm like, I think that's the first time in my life that I ever went back in time. This is pretty cool.
That's funny. Yeah, I didn't notice it because I have like a a clock with the hands on it actually, like in my bedroom.
Oh, that's nice.
I have
As long as it doesn't tick.
It does actually. I have a Batman one in the second hand. It's kind of loud, but if it wasn't for that thing, I wouldn't have even noticed that the time changed. Wouldn't have even known. I would have went the whole day without even noticing. And I'm just like,
that's funny.
I looked at the time and then I was like, oh wow, it's already okay. And then I looked at my phone and I was like, wait a minute, and I was like, okay, yeah, it must have been a time change. I guess it's that time of year.
Everything automatically resets except for the microwave, the oven,
Right.
and the wall clocks.
Right. I don't know, man. It doesn't bother me for some reason, the ticking. It doesn't really bother me. I mean, you're talking to a guy who sleeps with a kitten on his head,
Oh, that is a cute kitten. I saw some pictures on the
I-
interwebs. A very
No.
cute kitten.
Right. Yeah, but if there's somebody next to me snoring, it's gonna bug the hell out of me. Go figure.
Like a person?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But
Some
Clever
bitches that'll get
snores, and I love it. You know what I mean? Like I sleep like a baby with Clever snoring. So I don't know. And we cuddle. Like he's right next to me snoring.
Oh.
So it's like it's whatever. So
All right, I'm
yeah.
going to say goodnight so you can say goodnight to the people. Good
All
night,
right, well,
everyone. Thanks for having me, Will.
good night, Melanie Little. Thanks for being here.
All right,
Appreciate it.
guys. Love you all.
All
Make sure
right,
you
good
smash
night.
the like. Smash the like, even if
Yes.
you're hate watching.
And make
Smash
sure to
it.
subscribe to Melanie if you're not subscribed to her already. Make sure to do that because she covers not only the Karen Reed case, but many others.
Thank you.
Yeah, and does a great job. And I guess next time we're doing this on your channel.
You can come over to mine. Whatever you want to do. I'm flexible.
Sweet.
All right, good night,
Sweet.
everyone. Thanks, Will.
All right. Good night. Bye. All right. Yeah, man. I am I'm really worried about my gym situation. I am not gonna lie, I'm really worried about it. That completely fucks up my entire existence. It absolutely does. It's extremely disruptive um to my current existence. So I'm really worried about it. But I'll figure something out. I will figure something out. Anyways, um guys, I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. And a big thank you again to attorney Melanie Little. Make sure to subscribe to her if you're not already. I had a great time. Make sure to check out if you didn't watch it earlier, check out Nurse Kim. She had Mark Betterow on. Check out Nurse Kim. She had Mark Betterow on, and they had a really engaging conversation. I caught a little bit of it. Nurse Kim is great. So make sure to subscribe to her if you're not already, and make sure to go check that out if you didn't catch it already. But guys, yeah, I had a great time hanging out with you guys as I always do. And yeah, I'm really grateful to all you guys for hanging out with me tonight. And I hope you guys have an excellent Monday tomorrow, if there is such a thing. Maybe I'll go live again tomorrow. Again, yeah, if I can't do the gym, I'm probably going to be going live quite a bit. So you guys will probably see me quite a bit more often than you're used to. Hopefully you don't get sick of me. But anyways, guys, I am going to wrap this up. You guys are absolutely fantastic. Seriously, I appreciate all you guys subscribing, all you new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. I hope you continue to enjoy the channel. And thank you guys for hitting the like. It means the world to me that you guys take the time to do that. And for all of the support, thank you guys so much. Means the world to me. All you guys just showing up to hang out, man. I just love it. So thank you guys again. I love you very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.